Audible. Stay motivated, informed, and entertained through the power of audiobooks. Listen anytime, anywhere with the Audible app. Start a 30-day trial, and your first one is free. Just go to audible.com. 5:07, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Our nation is deeply divided. Gone are the days when civil discourse bridged the gap between the two sides. If we'll ever find common ground, we must get beyond the talking points. AM 560, The Answer, is bringing together two of America's sharpest political minds from opposite sides of the aisle. To do just that, it's Beyond the Talking Points with Dan Proft and Donna Brazil on Thursday, March 22nd. Proft and Brazil will go head-to-head, tackling the big issues facing our nation. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/beyond.
Hey, Craig and Leslie here from In the Know. Leslie, people have spring fever. Consumer confidence is up, and that means spending. We want folks to enjoy what they've worked so hard for, but don't forget...
Craig, are you trying to tell me something? I know. Retirement's right around the corner.
Listen, a new season is time for regrowth and building on what you already have. You don't need to do it alone if you have Wealth Management Group at your side.
Spring into action and make Wealth Management Group your go-to partner. And listen to In the Know Sunday mornings at 10 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Spearfishing has or will strike your business, wreaking havoc on your employees, brand, and your bottom line. Spearfishing can't be stopped by traditional email security solutions because messages appear to be legitimate from your boss, a trusted colleague, or a vendor asking you to wire money, confirm login credentials, or worse. Barracuda Sentinel is artificial intelligence for real-time spearfishing and cyber fraud defense. Reclaim your email in minutes with zero impact on network performance. Visit barracuda.com/AI.
The expensive mattress you're considering buying is a waste of money because it isn't customized to you. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of HelixSleep.com, the only place to get a customized mattress starting at just $600. Just go to HelixSleep.com, fill out our 2-minute sleep survey, and we'll design a mattress made just for you with a 100-night sleep trial and financing as low as 0%. For a limited time, get $50 off your mattress order when you go to HelixSleep.com/talkradio. That's HelixSleep.com/talkradio.
Hear that? That's the sound of a quality solid door from Competitive Door and Supply Company. Doors that serious contractors use for everything from hospitals to schools to warehouses. Not the hollow stuff you find at the big box home improvement stores. Solid core wood doors made out of oak and birch, steel doors, and custom orders ready for installation. Call Competitive Door and Supply Company, 708-366-0194. And for a limited time, get free delivery.
5:10. Let's get an update on the roads. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, the very latest for us with Jim Talamonte. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Mike. On I-65 northbound at 8094, there's a crash on the exit ramp. The left lane is blocked there. Prepare to slow down approaching there on northbound I-65. Still have delays on the inbound to Kennedy. This is the area from around the River Road toll to past Canfield. 2 right lanes have been closed to overnight roadwork. This should be wrapping up soon, but you're looking at about a 5-minute delay there coming out of the River Road toll to past Canfield. There were a lot of ramp closures in the downtown area. Those ramps have reopened. However, there is still an on-ramp closure from 87th Street to the outbound Ryan. That closure is scheduled till 6 a.m. Plenty of pedestrians around churches this Ash Wednesday morning. Careful there. And you will have auto show traffic at 8 McCormick Place. The auto show is open 10 to 10. Traffic service of Audible. Stay motivated, informed, and entertained with the power of audiobooks. Listen anytime, anywhere with the Audible app. Start a 30-day trial. The first one is free. Just go to audible.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, increasing clouds, high 42. Tonight, mostly cloudy with areas of late night fog, low 38. Tomorrow, areas of fog continue into the morning. Otherwise, a cloudy day with periods of rain in the afternoon, high 42. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
28 at O'Hare, 31 along the lakefront. It is 8 this morning in Aurora, but there is heavy fog reported. Your next news update is at 5:30. Continuous news coverage at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now. on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Well, a sad Valentine's Day today after the shooting death of Chicago Police Commander Paul Bauer, 31-year veteran of the Chicago Police Department, who was shot and killed by an assailant right outside the Thompson Center downtown yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, and this assailant was, he had on body armor. We're not sure the motive yet, but people described this scene as chaotic. They thought it was a terrorist attack.
I heard shots, and then I started thinking terrorist attack. Everybody started running. I'm talking about it was like a scene out of a movie.
People started running to the escalator, and they were all trying to get up the escalator at the same time.
I saw people out on the plaza wildly running, screaming, there's been shots, there's been shots.
And it's just, I mean, he was off duty, but earlier in the day, he was at an active shooting seminar in the South Loop. So he was in plain clothes, but this crazy guy who has a horror, I mean, he's got an arrest record, the size of a grocery list.
44 years old is the assailant being identified by the Chicago Tribune and other outlets. Four-time felon, former inmate with an arrest record dating back to at least 1994. He was sentenced to 16 years in prison in 1998 for robbery, according to court records.
Yeah, and Commander Bauer, I don't know if you knew him, but he was from the 18th District. Everybody knew Commander Bauer. If you ever went to North Avenue Beach, if you ever, that's that we call that the Hollywood District, the 18th District. That's where you live, right? You're in the 18th District,
yes.
Aren't you? Yeah, and it's just a lot of heavy hearts this morning. He leaves behind a wife and a daughter.
13-year-old daughter. Been on the force for 31 years, 53 years old. It's just awful. And you have, it's an opportunity to thank the people in uniform, men and women in uniform who serve. They have suffered a loss of a brother in uniform. We have all suffered a loss of a decorated police officer, police commander. And it's interesting. I posted something on Facebook and gotten some responses, including from a friend of mine who was a year behind him in St. Ignatius. And
really?
She said that, at St. Ignatius, you're called to be a servant for others, sort of the school coda. And she said that Paul was a servant to others to his last day, obviously responding, as you said, off duty to an active shooter situation. There was another post from a police officer who worked under him. This is Michael Walsh posting on my Facebook. As a police officer who worked under his command, I can say he was a cop's cop and a genuinely nice guy. This is a big loss for the CPD.
Superintendent Johnson, of course, went straight to Northwestern Memorial Hospital and spoke with reporters.
Been meeting with his wife and daughter. It's a difficult day for us, but we will get through it. Today, the city of Chicago lost a piece of itself, and CPD certainly lost a huge piece of itself.
And late last night, Mayor Emanuel and others gathered at the 18th District.
Paul, that selflessness was his standard. He's an individual defined by his decency and his sense of duty.
That's what separates him from Rahm Emanuel. You have to turn your microphone on so people can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Sarah,
Sure.
boss. It's every time that this happens, and it doesn't happen a lot, especially for a commander to be killed. I mean, he was in charge of the 18th District, so it tears your heart apart. I mean, to think about, we need to thank these police officers every day because you don't know when they go to work if they're going to come home from work. And that's the thing. And I just love, I'm sure you guys all saw it when everybody lined the streets, whether they were Illinois State Police, Cook County Sheriff's deputies. They stopped what they were doing. Police officers or firefighters got their trucks out, their hooks and ladders and their snorkel, and went out to line the streets between Northwestern Memorial Hospital and the morgue. And they stood at attention, and that image just is heart-wrenching.
Yeah, and since the police officers have become such the political football over the last couple of years with the Black Lives Matter movement and stuff, it's useful to remember that the incident that led to Commander Baller's death, his murder, is much more reflective of what police do on a daily basis than, say, the Walter Scott shooting in South Carolina, or even arguably the Laquan McDonald shooting in Chicago. It's much more the case, much more customary the case, that you're not going to encounter a police officer, outside of a moving violation, unless you're behaving in a barbaric way as a threat to society. You're not going to have a confrontation with the police officer, except in those situations, generally speaking. And so what happened yesterday with the murder of Commander Bauer sort of speaks to that.
The gunman, they did recover a gun from the scene, and again, he was wearing a protective vest. Tribune not identifying his name because he has not been charged yet, but we do know that he has a long run-in with the law and was sentenced to 16 years in prison in 1998 for robbery.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Today we're going to have clouds, but warm weather, a high of 42 degrees. That'll be nice. And then tonight, cloudy, fog, a low of 38. And then tomorrow we're going to have some morning fog, then rain in the afternoon, a high again in the mid-40s. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Wow, that inbound Kennedy was an absolute mess this morning. Here's Jim Talamonte with more.
Yes, it was, Amy. Good morning. Morning, Dan. And fortunately, it is no longer. The overnight road work has cleared in the area near Canfield Road. There were a couple of right lanes still blocked during our last report, but that's gone, and so are the delays, at least for now. Kennedy is clocking in at 20 minutes either way between O'Hare and downtown. The express lane's open on the inbound side. The Eden's just fine, so is the Eisenhower, so is the Stevenson. Inbound Ryan getting heavy from Roosevelt to Burns Circle, 16 minutes, 95th to downtown. Outbound, 3 right lanes are closed. 87th split. The on-ramp from 87th is blocked till 6. I-57 clear. Bishop Ford, little tight. Cottage Grove to the Ryan. Just a 1 or 2 minute delay. Tollways are looking good. A northbound I-65 on the exit to 8094. The left lane is blocked. There's a car in the ditch there. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Did you hear Donna Brazile on Real Time with Bill Maher last Friday night? Neither did I, but I'm told that she was trying to explain Anthony Scaramucci, the mooch, to Anthony Scaramucci, why Donald Trump won't be reelected in 2020. I'll be curious to hear her explanation when I sit down across from Donna Brazile on Thursday, March 22nd at the Meadows Club in Rolling Meadows. I wonder if she does a mooch impersonation. It's Beyond the Talking Points. Donna and I will tackle all the issues: immigration, alleged Russian collusion, healthcare, Trump's reelection prospects. It's all on the table, and it's happening live, and I want you in the audience. Tickets start at just $29. Get yours today. Just go to 560theanswer.com/beyond. That's 560theanswer.com/beyond. Sponsored in part by AM Woodland Outdoor Design, where we were yesterday in Mundelein. And by 1-800-4-BLIND-CHICAGO. Blinds, shades, and shutters.
This is Dan Proth with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. Elizabeth Warren was born a poor Native American child. That's the Horatio Alger story she spun when confronted by a Boston radio talk show host about her hypocrisy of railing against the 1% while being a Grey Poupon-carrying member of it. Warren refused to concede she was a 1%er, instead recounting how her daddy was a janitor and her mom worked a minimum wage job. But they provided for their Indian princess. Warren worked her way through school, became an academic while also consulting for big insurance companies and big banks, and amassed a multi-million-dollar net worth. Warren tells her story in 3 dimensions. The rest of the 1% she shamelessly demagogues as one-dimensional Mr. Potter cartoons. Warren is a 1%er who overcame her humble beginnings. Everyone else is a robber baron, except for the champagne socialist fellow travelers in the Harvard faculty lounge, of course. Warren is not a public servant. The businesses she seeks to plunder are. Warren builds stylized political narratives. The entrepreneur built this country. She can't tell the truth about herself because Warren's politics are predicated on a lie. Not one she's lived, but one she wants to impose on you. Elizabeth Warren didn't build that, and neither can you.
Are you buying or selling a business or starting a business? Maybe you have legal problems with a business partner or employees, or are just drowning in new regulations. You need the support of a law firm that concentrates in a wide range of business law and tax matters. You need the corporate team at Kelleher and Buckley. Whether you're a local mom and pop shop, middle market business, or a large corporation or franchise, they provide cost-effective legal solutions to help your businesses thrive. The lawyers of Kelleher and Buckley focus on targeted legal advice tailored to meet the specific needs of your business. You deserve competent legal representation from a law firm maintaining a high level of knowledge about the ever-changing laws governing businesses. One that also includes accountants and tax specialists on board to provide your business bottom-line solutions. Kelleher and Buckley, LLC of North Barrington and Chicago is a legal solution provider that also includes estate planning, asset protection, life insurance planning, and litigation. Keep your business on track. Call 847-382-9130 or online at kelleherbuckley.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, we're talking about the murder of Chicago Police Commander Paul Bauer yesterday. Ed in Oak Brook, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
You know what? This is kind of emotional for me because I really didn't know this particular officer, but I do have family members that are. And I think, Dan, it's beyond the time that maybe you and Amy should organize a Blue Day because everyone would just support the police. I don't care if it's a march or whatever. Because I think in the last 5 days, I think there's been around the country 4 or 5 officers that have been shot. 2 were ambushed in Ohio, I think, for a domestic dispute call, fake call.
Right.
So I think, Dan, you guys can do that. I know you kind of like the police, and Amy buys them coffee every once in a while, but I think organize a day, and you know what? I'll be out there, and I think a lot of your listeners, and I think the country will be out there as well. Have a nice day.
Thanks for the call, Ed. Good thought. Yeah, good thought. Something that Amy can spearhead, given that she's the recipient of so much coffee and free rides from Chicago police officers.
Well, after I got let go from Channel 5, anytime I would walk down the street or if there were detectives, they would...
separated from Channel 5.
Well, no, whatever.
Separated.
No, I didn't separate. I didn't sign an agreement. They wanted me to, but I didn't. But every cop, whether they're plainclothes officers or detectives, would buy me coffee, and we'd sit and chat, and they were very supportive. And I love Chicago police officers. I wish I had more in my neighborhood because a lot of them are being reassigned to the west and south side, but... I always thank police officers every time I see them for the duty that they do.
All right. Well, switching gears to a lighter story.
Yes.
I just wanted to update people. We had this story earlier in the week about the 6 teenagers running for governor of Kansas.
Oh, yeah. Oh, isn't there an animal now running for governor?
Well, there was a canine who had launched a campaign for governor.
Oh, my gosh.
Because, again,
is it Hayek?
It's not Hayek. He's not a Kansas resident.
Oh, well,
yet.
Maybe he'd move.
Yeah, he's not a Kansas resident yet. But so here, Kansas doesn't have qualifications for running for governor.
So there's no age limit, right?
No age requirement. Not yet. There's legislation that's been introduced to require you to be at least 18 years old, which seems onerous to me because it precludes these 17-year-olds who are actually running for governor. But they are putting the brakes on the Dogs campaign for governor. Taryn Woolley of Hutchinson, Kansas, decided to file the paperwork over the weekend for his 3-year-old pooch Angus to run for governor. After reading stories about the teenage candidates, leadership from teenagers encourages other people to jump into the political arena, or dogs. He read the bylaws and requirements, and it appeared that his dog really could run. Angus is a type of hunting dog. He's a Vizsla.
Oh.
I think a Vizsla could potentially do a good job.
Vizsla. Do you have a picture of the Vizsla?
I don't on me.
Look it up. Is it as cute as Hayek? The Vizsla?
That would be difficult.
Or as cute as Bunky?
Taryn Woolley did file Angus to run in the Republican primary.
Really?
He described Angus as caring, nurturing individual who cares about the best for humanity and all creatures other than squirrels, which is something you could apply to most politicians. I mean, this is not different than a lot of walk cards I see for human beings. The Kansas Secretary of State's office, however, said that man's best friend is not capable of serving the responsibilities required of the governor. His owner, Woolley, said of Angus, if he had been cleared to run, he would have chosen his siblings, Babe and Max, for lieutenant governor and secretary of state, respectively. What about that? What about having an all canine cabinet at the statewide level? They could hardly do worse than, say, the statewide elected officials in Illinois for the past 30 years. Really? I mean, honestly.
No.
Well, since this is
They
such...
wouldn't get anything. They can't sign any bills. They can't author any bills.
You can have the auto
cooperate.
signature.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You don't need to be tied up with paperwork. You have people to do that. Technology can allow you to do that. I mean, honestly, if we're going to make a farce of state government like we've done here, why not just have, animals or 17-year-olds? I mean, what's the difference, really, between a series of dogs and a bunch of 17-year-old boys?
I love those 17-year-olds who are running for governor. They're civic-minded. I love that they're part of the process. And they dress up. Have you seen every time they have a town hall, they dress to the nines?
They all look the
their
same.
Their parents drop them off. I know, they all look like they're in the...
They all have khakis and a blue
Pike
blazer
fraternity.
on. It's exactly the same. But
at least they're interested in it.
Well, how
they want to be
different-
part of the process. I love it.
How different is that when you see a kick line of politicians that are all dressed in the same suit? Honestly. I mean, this is tongue-in-cheek, sort of. But the teenagers, at least, I think you make a strong case for the teenagers.
You
they're
want
not,
fresh blood. That is the definition of newbies.
Well, it's more an indictment of politicians. They're spewing the same pablum you hear from politicians. Where'd they get it? From politicians. The same aphorisms, same nonsense, stringing together words that when combined don't mean anything. I mean, I'm all for Kansas. As I said, PJ O'Rourke giving money and power in government is like giving whiskey and car keys to teenage boys. So cut out the middleman. Just give teenage boys the government. Peggy in Chicago. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi. I just wanted to say that, I don't usually cry at news stories. I mean, it's just a news story after all. And I heard about the shooting, and I went down to watch the television news, and I cried. I mean, you have to see the expressions on the faces of the police. They were in shock. We were trying to get that man to a hospital, and they just were, it was just incredible, the expressions on their faces. And I realized, if that guy had gotten into the State of Illinois building, it's a shooting gallery. There's no protection for people. It's completely open. You go to the other side, and it's City Hall. And on the other side, it's the court building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it was a disaster. And, one man, one police officer, he was off duty. He wasn't on duty. He was in a regular suit. He's the one that stood up and said, no. And he's Catholic, okay? I mean, we were told that, this is Valentine's Day, okay? But we were told to celebrate it yesterday. Mm-hmm. This is Ash Wednesday for us. He has a 13-year-old daughter. For his wife and his daughter, when they go to Mass today, Ash Wednesday is never going to be the same for them.
Thanks for the call, Peggy.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll switch gears. We'll take your calls. We'll revisit Paul Bauer's
all
heroism all morning, but we'll take your calls on that. But at 5:38, switch gears and talk a little bit about the disputed timelines and what the White House knew and when they knew it about Rob Porter.
And why John Kelly and Hope Hicks should be out. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
27 degrees. Skies are cloudy, and there is heavy fog, especially in northwest Indiana and in the far western suburbs. Visibility down to less than 0.3 of a mile this morning in Aurora. Charges are pending after a Chicago police commander was shot and killed in the Thompson Center downtown. Commander Paul Bauer was shot and killed yesterday while assisting a tactical team chasing down a man inside that state government office building. The 53-year-old Bauer was pronounced dead at Northwestern Memorial Hospital. Superintendent Eddie Johnson.
And I just ask citizens of this city to keep the Bauer family in their prayers.
Officers arrested a suspect who was reportedly wearing body armor. Despite initial reports, police spokesman officially says Bauer was on duty at the time of the shooting. Mayor Emanuel sharing his condolences after learning Bauer was killed.
Love him and love his courage on behalf of all of us, something he gave every day for 31 years. We're going to miss Paul.
Bauer was the first police officer killed since 2011. He leaves behind a 13-year-old daughter. The Tribune this morning reporting the suspect is a 4-time felon with a lengthy arrest record who spent 16 years in prison for a 1998 robbery. In other news we're following this morning, FBI Director Chris Wray says he has seen no evidence of any inherent political bias at the Bureau.
The background investigation process involves a fairly elaborate set of standards, guidelines, protocols, agreements, et cetera, that have been in place for 20-plus years.
In a Senate hearing yesterday, Wray praised the professionalism of the men and women of the FBI. President Trump donating his fourth quarter salary to the DOT. The president's total salary is a little over $400,000 a year. At a White House briefing yesterday, Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao accepted that check, highlighting the president's new infrastructure program. At least 2 are dead, 3 others injured after shooting broke out Tuesday night in New Orleans' lower 9th Ward. The victims were in a car hit by gunfire leaving Mardi Gras festivities. A federal judge throwing a wrench into President Trump's plan to end DACA. A district court judge in New York ruling that those enrolled in the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program are likely to win their court challenge against the Trump administration on narrow legal grounds. However, the Supreme Court may weigh in on this issue by the end of the week. Climber is dead after falling several hundred feet on Oregon's Mount Hood. Clackamas County sheriffs say 2 others were also pulled from the mountain. Former Schaumburg police officer is no longer facing charges of participating in a drug dealing operation with 2 fellow officers. DuPage County prosecutors dropping all charges against John Seachy yesterday because of lack of admissible evidence. And the Best in Show award at the 142nd Westminster Dog Show is a Bichon Frise named Flynn, who beat out 6 finalists for the win. Las Vegas over the badly slumping Blackhawks last night, 5-2. On the college hardwood, Rutgers took down Northwestern in OT. Northern Illinois, our Huskies, fell to Central Michigan in the MAC. The news service of Audible. Stay motivated, informed, and entertained through the power of audiobooks. Listen anytime, anywhere with the Audible app. Start a 30-day trial, and your first one is free. Just go to audible.com. 5:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Our nation is deeply divided. Gone are the days when civil discourse bridged the gap between the two sides. If we'll ever find common ground, we must get beyond the talking points. AM 560, The Answer, is bringing together 2 of America's sharpest political minds from opposite sides of the aisle to do just that. It's Beyond the Talking Points with Dan Proft and Donna Brazil on Thursday, March 22nd. Proft and Brazil will go head-to-head, tackling the big issues facing our nation. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/beyond.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
See the nation's largest auto show at McCormick Place now through the 19th. Log on to ChicagoAutoShow.com for details and download the official Auto Show app.
If you still haven't purchased the very best pillow, of course I'm talking about MyPillow, the 4-pack deal is back. So I strongly urge you to go online or call now to make sure you take advantage of this great deal. A great night's sleep is so important, so give yourself the gift of a great night's sleep by ordering a MyPillow. By using the promo code Amy, you'll get the absolute best deal available anywhere. The MyPillow 4-pack deal includes 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows at 50% off. I love that I can move the fill to get the support I need, regardless if I sleep on my back or side. I never wake up with a stiff neck or headache. And MyPillow is made in America, washable and dryable, hypoallergenic, and has a 10-year warranty plus a 60-day money-back guarantee. So get your 50% off the 4-pack in February by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit MyPillow.com. That's 800-489-0201, promo code Amy.
If you're aged 59 and a half or older with the 401k plan and still working, stop what you're doing and call Arlington Capital Management at 855-471-5796. They'll help you actively manage your 401k, show you strategies to avoid major declines, and capitalize on opportunities. There are benefits with age, and this is one of them. At 59 and a half, you're entitled to new opportunities in the investment world that can dramatically improve your results and even lower your fees. Call 855 855-471-5796 now and take the first step toward getting more out of your retirement assets. The team at Arlington Capital Management proactively explores the market, our economy, and all of the variables that offset your investments. Call 855-471-5796 now for a complimentary consultation. That's 855-471-5796 or visit arlington-capital.com. You worked hard to accumulate your nest egg. Now, it's time to put your money to work for you.
5:37. Good morning to our friends in Valparaiso and LaPorte County, Indiana. Visibility 0.0 this morning because of the heavy fog. Drive with extra care there, as you always do when you listen to Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Thanks, Mike. We do have a crash in the city of Chicago, River North, right on Grand Avenue at LaSalle. The Edens, the Kennedy, are looking good at this hour. Earlier road work on the Kennedy caused significant delays on the inbound side around Canfield, but that's all cleared up. And for now, it's 20 minutes either way between O'Hare and the Burn Circle. But Eisenhower a little tight now. Manheim to Harlem, 33 minutes, 390 to downtown, up on 30. Stevenson, 36 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 20 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, 23 minutes from 8094 to Ryan. Traffic is a service of Audible. Stay motivated, informed, and entertained with the power of audiobooks. Listen anytime, anywhere with the Audible app. Start a 30-day trial. Your first one is free. Just go to audible.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Clouds on the increase in your official Chicagoland weather forecast. High of 42 today. Heavy fog overnight, low 38. Morning fog and rain tomorrow, high 42. Currently 28 at O'Hare, 31 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Tasty Catering. Stop by and try their food before planning your awesome corporate event menu. TastyCatering.com.
Don't miss Beyond the Talking Points with Dan Proft, going one-on-one with Donna Brazil, Thursday, March 22nd. Get your tickets at 560theanswer.com/beyond.
Morning, Dan and Amy. So the Rob Porter saga continues with Christopher Wray, FBI director, testifying yesterday that actually the FBI had effectively completed its background check on Rob Porter a year ago, and so the White House, I mean, you know, he doesn't know who in the White House knew what when, but in terms of the idea that the FBI's background check was still ongoing, Christopher Wray disputed that, to which Sarah Sanders, press secretary, said that the final recommendation on adjudication to the White House was still in process. She's referring to the White House Personnel Office, which she says makes recommendations about security clearances. So the background check was still ongoing, wasn't necessarily specifically related to the FBI's work, but to the White House Personnel Office's work, which makes recommendations about security clearances, and perhaps they were not precise enough with that distinction in their initial responses.
Yeah, but this is day 8 now, and the White House still can't get their story straight about Rob Porter. I mean, I think it's a textbook example of how not to handle a scandal. And to make matters worse, we learned yesterday that Porter was up for a promotion during this time, and that John Kelly told the Wall Street Journal that everything's all right. We handled it all right. You didn't handle it all right. That's why John Kelly needs to go, and I think Hope Hick needs to go, the communications director, because she's still dating Rob Porter. And it's such a circus over there that when Jake Tapper had Kellyanne Conway on, he asked her, is Porter being abusive to Hope Hicks? where Kellyanne Conway said, no, she's a very strong woman. She's smart. She's sophisticated. She wouldn't let that happen. That re-victimizes the two ex-wives who are listening to Kellyanne Conway going, oh, okay, so I'm not smart. I'm not sophisticated. And I did something wrong to be beaten. I mean, it is just a circus over there. And John Kelly and Hope Hicks both need to resign. Honestly.
So
clean it up.
So John Kelly needs to resign because of how this Porter matter was handled.
Yeah, he
and,
came. And
Hope Hicks needs to resign because she's dating Rob Porter.
Well, and there's also several reports that she was protecting him. She knew about his abusive past and was hoping that it wouldn't come to light, that the public wouldn't find out about it.
312-642-5600, Turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, Turnkey.pro text line. Should John Kelly and Hope Hicks, anybody else resign?
No, those two are
just
fine.
Those two for now. All right, so those two individuals resign because of the handling of the situation. You're talking about, with Hope Hicks, you're talking about the professional handling, not her personal dating choices.
I mean, if she wants to date a former wife beater, that's her business. That's not my business. But he's so connected to the White House still because they praised him on the way out. If they had said, you know what, had mentioned anything about the victims on the way out, they didn't. They almost canonized him like he was some saint, like he was the best person in the world to work with, this rare talent. And I take offense to that because people die every day from domestic violence. Every day a woman is beaten and is killed. Every single day in America that happens. And they're not taking this issue seriously.
So when his ex-wife, one of his ex-wives, Jenny Willoughby, said that people say, how could you have stayed with this monster? He wasn't a monster. He was smart and kind and chivalrous and intelligent and successful, but he was also dark and troubled and disturbed. Isn't that, couldn't you argue that that's what members of the White House who worked with him professionally were saying? Here's the guy I knew in a professional setting, and then there's apparently this other side I didn't know, and they're making the same distinction that his actual ex-wife, who's made claims of physical abuse, is making. Is that fair to say, here's what I know about Rob Porter from working with him, and apparently there's a different Rob Porter at home? That's what Jenny Willoughby said too.
No, and I heard her say that, and I understand that when the doors are closed at home, could be a whole different person. But when you're working next to the President of the United States, when you have access to him like that, you could get blackmailed. I mean, there's an array of reasons why he should have never been that close to the President to begin with, because they knew that there were abuse allegations.
Well, the
court order of protection.
The they is operative here. Who the they is, individuals that comprise the they, and what they knew and when they knew it is sort of important here and not entirely clear at this point.
Well, this is what the FBI Director Wray said yesterday.
The FBI submitted a partial report on the investigation in question in March. And then a completed background investigation in late July. We administratively closed the file in January.
Okay, that information came out, and then hours later, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, they had a press conference.
Christopher Wray said it was closed in January. So who's telling the truth here?
Both. As I said, the FBI portion was closed. The White House Personnel Security Office, who is the one that makes a recommendation for adjudication, or not made a recommendation to the White House.
So that's the distinction, right?
What do you think?
CNN did a focus group on this. Kind of interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, our friend Randy Kay moderated a focus group of 5 women in Miami who are Trump supporters on this topic, and here's what they had to say.
If the president walked on water, the press would say he doesn't know how to swim. He's become a little bit, I guess, over-criticized.
These Republican women from Miami all support President Trump, and to say strongly would be an understatement. But what about this weekend's tweet about how people's lives are being shattered and destroyed by a mere allegation? It was just right.
He said some are guilty and some are not. And not every accuser is telling the truth. And I think that's important to know.
And they went on to discuss that tweet.
Some might look at this tweet and say the president is dismissing Rob Porter's ex-wives.
I think that he's speaking generally. I think he's speaking from his own position as someone that has been accused, wrongfully accused. So I give him the benefit of the doubt.
Do you think the president's compassion may have been misguided?
I don't think that it means that he doesn't have compassion for women. I think that if you leave something out of a sentence or you leave someone out, it doesn't mean that you're not thinking about them.
I think that
we're victimizing the president, if you will, by the sense that every single word, every single tweet that he puts out is being scrutinized to the last molecule. I think what he voiced is valid. Should we take the victims into consideration? Absolutely. But should lives be condemned without due process? Absolutely not.
So despite this tweet, you all do believe that he is a great supporter of women and stands up for women's issues.
Absolutely.
As women, do you expect your president to be a voice for women?
He's not my moral leader. He's not my marital counsel. He is our president, and he's doing a great job as president.
Oh, so character doesn't matter anymore?
Well, the left and all those decrying this are the ones who are the strongest proponents that character doesn't matter. It's conservatives like me who suggest that character is destiny. So pick a lane. If you want to say character matters, fine. I'm all on board. Been on board a long time. Character matters, except if it's our guys. That's the left's position. And some hypocrites on the center right, too, play that game. Character matters, except if it's our guys. That's the story of the Clintons for the last 25 years. So some equal application of that principle, I think, would improve our politics greatly. But I appreciate the woman who said, he's not my moral leader. The President of the United States is just a human being. Not my moral leader.
He's flawed like all of us.
I expect him to do a good job. I expect him to represent and advance my interests. I expect him not to weaponize the government against me, for example. But he's not my moral leader, and he's not my marriage counselor. Yeah, I see some perspective on the presidency, since we treat political leaders as royals in this country. Ironic, since the country was founded in opposition to that notion. But the imperial presidency. The president has to comment on everything, and specifically on everything. The president has to be omnipresent. I want politicians to be less present in my life, including the president of the United States, not more present.
312-642-5600 is our Turnkey Pro answer line.
John in Schererville.
Yes, Dan and Amy. As a 40-year member of the military, it's very disappointing that General Kelly might have to take a plunge here. The military has a habit of staffing things until they go away, but certainly as chief of staff, you have to know what the status is on security clearance for the individuals in the White House. And I had a TSSCI for 10 years. It's just unfortunate that the process and the White House Security Office is not yet identified.
Yeah, that's a fair point, John. Thanks for the call. I mean, it could be one of those things where General Kelly thought, I like this guy, he's doing a great job professionally, and so the security clearance is kind of a detail that I don't have to pay much attention to.
Dozens of White House staffers that don't have security clearance, including Jared Kushner. They're still waiting on his security clearance.
He talks so softly; it's hard to get. Yeah. And Hope Hicks too. She doesn't talk at all.
Never heard her. I have no idea what her voice sounds like.
I don't either, actually. I don't think I've ever heard her speak.
I've never heard her speak. What if she talks like this?
That'd be interesting. If she talks like Betty Boop. I wonder who has a higher voice, Jared Kushner or Hope Hicks?
Or Betty Boop.
Chip in St. Charles.
Hey, aren't there 27 harassment claims sitting on some desk down in the state of Illinois? And there isn't even somebody appointed to that office?
There is now, but it's recent. It was vacant for 3 years. That's correct.
Yeah, and Michael Madigan and his associate there who was harassing another associate for something. How long did Michael Madigan know about that, and why isn't anybody calling for his resignation?
Well,
that's a good point.
Thanks for the point. The call, Chip. Actually, yesterday, Jeannie Ives called for his resignation, Mike Madigan's.
Well, yeah, and the accuser, or the person who was victimized, her last name is Hamilton. She wrote Mike Madigan, a letter months ago talking about the abuse she received from her or from Madigan's lackey.
This is his top field general, Kevin Quinn, who's the brother of Chicago Alderman Marty Quinn.
The speaker has had the letter for 3 months. It doesn't take 3 months to read those text messages and know that behavior was inappropriate. It would take all of 20 minutes to know that was sexual harassment.
The problem
Telling about Kevin was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I know you didn't choose for this to happen, but you made the choice to protect Kevin instead of me.
And that was a comment directed directly towards Michael Madigan.
The problem is she sent that letter in question to Madigan's alleged home down in the southwest side near Medway Airport when he actually lives in a castle in Ireland and commutes in. And so that's why he hadn't read it.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
In business, you need smart storage solutions. For over 50 years, Bradford Systems has been the company Chicago turns to, specializing in commercial storage, filing systems, document management solutions, casework, and locker systems. Whether it's working with you to incorporate better storage elements into a historic building, creating a completely new workspace for your business, or even digitizing paper documents, Bradford Systems is there every step of the process. Their experienced digital solutions team will support your enterprise content management and business process outsourcing initiatives. Bradford Systems guarantees you'll have the exact storage solution you need, within budget and completed on time. Learn more at bradfordsystems.com or call 800-580-9151. That's 800-580-9151. Bradford Systems is a proud supporter of AM 560 and Food for the Poor. Let Bradford Systems show you and your business smart storage solutions. Call now for a free consultation. 800-580-9151.
If you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, your dental health. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You hear a lot of people screaming at you about dental implants. Get it done in a day, or we can treat everybody, or hundreds of thousands of implants. Look, successful implants don't come from an implant factory. What you don't hear talked about is skill, treatment, and installation. These are what make for successful lifelong implants. And that's why you need to see Dr. Norouzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Norouzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants. You need the experience, skill, and honesty that 24 years of dental implants brings.
This is Dr. Norouzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics, 630-232-7400, 630-232-7400, or just remember, implantsforme.com, implantsforme.com.
You want to go to Italy, but not on a prepackaged tour. You want something more real. You want to do what you love in Italy, to gather with friends, your beloved family, a big table, in your own private villa in Tuscany. It's easier than you think. DoWhatYouLoveInItaly.com is a small company with 8 villas to choose from, all in the most beautiful and culturally interesting countryside of Tuscany. For the cost of a hotel, you can rent a private, centuries-old villa with pool, gardens, and classic Tuscan views. Grandparents, kids, and grandchildren, groups of friends, your family, together in one of our gorgeous Italian villas in the heart of Tuscany. They are called Do What You Love in Italy because they help you to do what you love in Italy. See the 8 villas waiting for you at DoWhatYouLoveInItaly.com. Do what you love in Italy.com.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
Mike Gallagher wants the media to stop overreacting.
We dropped 1,100 points. That's 4.6%. The 4.6% happens about 3 times a year. It had nothing to do with Donald Trump. It has to do with interest rates likely rising because the economy is doing so well. It has to do with a normal, inevitable course correction, but yet the media never wants to miss a chance to show him up.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
5:57. Tough sledding this morning, especially around Morris, Joliet. That neck of the woods where 55 comes together in that nexus around 3:55 because of heavy fog this morning. And there are other problems in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
That's right, Mike. That fog is an issue. Visibility is down around a quarter mile in Aurora and in Joliet, and on westbound I-80, we're seeing delays. Again, on the westbound side, from Francis Road to Gallagher, that's due to a crash, which has the left lane blocked. Truck hit the center median in that area. On the Edens Expressway, things are fine at this hour. Kennedy inbound heavy off the River Road toll to Canfield. 22 minutes O'Hare to downtown. How about 20? On Eisenhower, off the ramp to North Avenue, got a car in the ditch. There's about a 5-minute delay then from Manheim to Harlem. Outbound just a little tight, Harlem to Des Plaines Avenue. Stevenson, 44 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound fine at 34. Ryan is 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop 4, already 29 minutes for 8094 to the Verge. Traffic, service of Staples. Let Staples help you this tax season with everything you need for less. Storage boxes and filing supplies, software like QuickBooks and TurboTax. Right now, get up to $15 off if you buy TurboTax. Ends 2/17/18. Excludes TurboTax. Basic, Staples, Pro Time. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Sunny, then becoming cloudy today with patchy drizzle, high 42. Mostly cloudy with areas of late night fog tonight, a low of 38. Patchy morning fog with periods of rain in the afternoon tomorrow, high 42. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
26 at O'Hare, heavy fog drifting across the area. The news, a service of Quicken Loans by Rocket Mortgage. Rocket Mortgage is so simple, you can understand the details and be sure you're getting the right mortgage. Apply simply, understand fully. Mortgage confidently. Visit rocketmortgage.com today. Licensed in all 50 states, equal housing lender, and MLS number 3030. At 5:59, here are the stories we're following this morning. Charges pending after a Chicago police commander was shot and killed in the Thompson Center. Commander Paul Bauer was gunned down yesterday, helping a tactical team chasing down a man in that state government office building. Cook County judge throwing out more convictions, all tied to a corrupt former Chicago police sergeant, Ronald Watts. Illinois House Speaker Mike Madigan says he will not be forced to step down, even as there are more questions about how his campaign and state Democrats handled a sexual harassment complaint last year. Knights over the Blackhawks. College hoops, Rutgers took down Northwestern. WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
There's no DACA compromise yet in the Senate. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We've been planning this for a long time. There was a government shutdown over this, so I hope we resolve it.
Republican Senator Bob Corker amid a stalemate so far on immigration as the president also pushes for increased border security and legal immigration reforms. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, Senate lawmakers are going back to the drawing board after the first day of open debate on immigration failed to yield a proposal capable of the 60 votes needed for passage. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell called for a vote on the Sanctuary Cities bill.
The sooner we get started, the better, because we'll need to wrap this up this week.
Minority Leader Chuck Schumer wants legislation focused on protections for illegal immigrants brought to the U.S. as children.
We continue to believe that a narrow proposal has the best chance of passing the Senate.
The Senate could vote on the Sanctuary Cities bill today. Dave.
Rachel, President Trump's ordered the DACA program to end, but a second federal judge has ruled it must continue, blocking his order, saying it's based on a flawed legal argument, siding with 15 states and immigration rights groups suing to preserve DACA. It's Ash Wednesday, the start of Lent for Christians, and the end to all the Mardi Gras partying in New Orleans.
It's amazing. The parades, I thought there was 1 or 2 parades. No way. It's just unbelievable. It's so exciting.
But amid all the celebrating, some shooting. 3 separate incidents left 3 people dead. In Chicago, an off-duty police commander was shot and killed confronting an armed suspect other officers had been chasing.
They were calling an ambulance to come in there and scoop them up, and they were pushing his chest, but they had sheets covered over him.
A procession of police cars took Commander Paul Bauer's body to the medical examiner's office. At the Olympics, American Shaun White has won another gold medal in the snowboard halfpipe. And then after he shrugged off questions about sexual harassment allegations from 2 years ago as gossip. In a few minutes, the U.S. men's hockey team plays its first game of the Olympics against Slovenia. Fox News. Fair and balanced.
Our nation is deeply divided. Gone are the days when civil discourse bridged the gap between the two sides. If we'll ever find common ground, we must get beyond the talking points. AM 560, The Answer, is bringing together two of America's sharpest political minds from opposite sides of the aisle to do just that. It's Beyond the Talking Points with Dan Proft and Donna Brazil on Thursday, March 22nd. Proft and Brazil will go head-to-head, tackling the big issues facing our nation. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/beyond.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes, set up screener questions, then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Daryl has hired with Indeed.
Nothing has been this simple, this easy, and this effective.
Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
What happened? You used to go hours without visiting the bathroom. Now it seems like you're constantly getting up to pee. Listen, the makers of Super Beta Prostate are introducing a new wonder pill, Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced, with 3 key ingredients that are great for your prostate. To celebrate, your first 30-day supply is free. Pay shipping and handling. Get P3 Advanced free. Call 1-800-257-5251. 1-800-257-5251. 1-800-257-5251.
Nobody should have to live with depression. Not anymore.
It's a new year. Time for a new you.
Abilify, Wellbutrin, Seroquel, Rexulti. These are common drugs prescribed for depression. You may be able to get off the drugs and the endless counseling. You've heard about the revolutionary TMS therapy.
Now it's time to get a free consultation from HPR Centers.
End your frustration with life and relationships. In a few short weeks, your life will change. It's FDA cleared, safe, and it's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare. TMS therapy treats the cause of your depression. Millions have been treated. The results, nothing short of outstanding. HPR Centers are proud to bring TMS therapy to Chicagoland and Milwaukee.
You need to take the first step. Call.
The war on depression is over.
You win.
HPR Centers.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
Go to endmydepression.com.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage, $75 per month level rate for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110 per month, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rate guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Termbusters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call today for a quote at 1-800-569-5440. That's 1-800-569-5440. You're probably paying more than you should. Call Termbusters, 1-800-569-5440, or visit our website at termbusters.net. Remember, 1-800-569-5440. Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting. Exam required to qualify.
Warren Buffett's mentor, Benjamin Graham, said, "The essence of investment management is the management of risk, not returns." Hi, this is Joe Lopresti, president of Arlington Capital Management. I'm here to explain how we help manage our clients' exposure to risk. We're the creators of our proprietary proactive asset allocation strategy, known as PAS. It is designed to analyze important market trends and alert us to potential changes in the market. But that's only part of what I believe makes Arlington Capital Management unique. It's the care and personalized service we provide our clients that really defines us. We understand how important your financial goals are to you and your family, and we never take that responsibility lightly. It all starts by understanding the things that are most important to you. It's part of the Arlington Capital Management difference. To experience it for yourself, schedule your complimentary consultation by calling 855-471-5796. That's 855-471-5796, or visit arlington-capital.com.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs powered by Tandem HR. Heard Sunday evenings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We want to update what we understand about the murder of 18th District Chicago Police Commander Paul Bauer yesterday at the Thompson Center. Him responding to an active shooter call. He was in civilian clothes because he was working, but he was engaged in civilian duties.
Right, and he was technically on duty because he was at that training session.
Street
this is
duties,
what
I
happened.
should
So this gunman, who, by the way, had on a bulletproof vest, so you know he was fixing for a fight, was outside of the Thompson Center, and they tried to stop him because there had been some drug activity going on. They just, wanted to stop him, and he took off. Here's the initial call.
Anybody get hurt? Just wanted to do a street stop on him, and he took off on me, but he was in the area where we've had a lot of narcotic sales and a shooting on Saturday.
And they, identified his location.
We need some help over there. State of Illinois building towards City Hall.
And so Commander Bauer responded, and the suspect shot him multiple times. So he died from multiple gunshot wounds. And later, a few minutes later, officers were able to take down the gunman without incident. But it got really chaotic and really real.
We're in the plaza over here by the state building. Just slow down. He's got cuffs on him and everything. Just relax. They're on the plaza at the staircase.
But then they realized that Officer Bauer had been shot, the 10-1 call that no one ever wants to hear.
Off the shot. Off the shot. Off the down.
And he was immediately taken to Northwestern Memorial Hospital, where his wife and his 13-year-old daughter, they were escorted to the hospital, and he died at the hospital.
I've been meeting with his wife and daughter. It's a difficult day for us, but we will get through it.
And this gunman has just a lengthy arrest record. Spent 16 years in jail at one point in time for robbery. Court records show and they're not identifying him yet because he hasn't been charged, but they're familiar with this thug, this murderer.
4-time convicted felon is what I read. So it'd be interesting to get the full background on the alleged shooter, the alleged murderer of Commander Paul Bauer. And
people love it. I got a text message from someone who worked for them. Amy, I have nothing but glowing accolades for him as a person and as a boss. He was a cop's cop. He was a great guy, and he was in charge of us every day, and we believed in him.
Yeah, and that's a lot of the reviews of Commander Bauer that are coming in, and obviously because of his stature in the police department, been there for 3 decades, 31-year veteran of the police department, so had climbed the ranks and obviously generated the respect of his colleagues, and died trying to preserve the peace against an active shooter who, by the way, was wearing a protective vest. So the whole story about this starting with kind of a verbal and physical confrontation and escalating sounds like there was more to it than that. If this guy was decked out in a bulletproof vest, it sounds like he had bad intentions from the outset. We're going to find out more and provide that information as it becomes available. But regardless, Commander Bauer responding in the moment to an active shooter and laying down his life to protect others in a public setting. I mean, how many people are in mid-afternoon are at the Thompson Center and in that LaSalle Randolph Street corridor?
So our thoughts and prayers go out to his wife and his kids and all of his colleagues. And it was just so beautiful. Whenever a police officer or anyone is killed, whether it be a Cook County Sheriff's deputy or an Illinois State Trooper, Chicago police officer, Chicago firefighter, all units respond and they line the streets between Northwestern Memorial Hospital and the morgue. And that is, they had the hook and ladders out and making an archway for him to go underneath before he went into the morgue, and that's just a touching picture.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, Christopher Wray and the politicizing of the FBI. But first, here's your forecast today. For Valentine's Day, we forgot, and Ash Wednesday, clouds increasing throughout the day. 42 degrees for a high, so we'll start melting some of that snow. Then tomorrow it's going to be cloudy. We'll have morning fog, then rain in the afternoon, a high of 42 degrees. Let's get into the alarm detection systems. Traffic Center
How are the roadways? Here's Jim Telemonte.
Amy and Dan, visibilities are reduced, especially west and south of Chicago. We have delays on I-80. Big delays westbound, 355 to Gallagher Road. It's a crash blocking the left lane. Eden's looking good right now. Inbound getting a little congestion approaching the junction. Kennedy running 24 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 21, the Eisenhower, 38 minutes, 390 to the Circle. Outbound 30, Stevenson already 50 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, 38 from the Tri-State. Outbound okay. Ryan, 28 minutes, 95th to the Loop. Bishop Ford, 39 minutes, 8094 to the Merge. Eastbound Adams Tollway slow from the Tri-State to the Kennedy. Delays on Metro's electric line. The train due downtown at 6:31. Stopped near Harvey with mechanical failure. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do each morning on this show. Long-form interviews and our Against the Current series featuring opinion leaders and policymakers. 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes at Illinois Opportunity Project. 60 seconds of sanity commentaries from yours truly. Podcast for Illinois Rising program covering state policy and politics. Follow the Logic, that's our Man on the Street segments, as well as Heart of the Matter, featuring professional women speaking collegially about the important issues of the day and their impacts on family. And then don't forget our sister site, defendhomeowners.com. Defendhomeowners.com. We've got new regional reports on 2017 home sales, which should be instructive. You want to get a sense of where home values are going in your neighborhood and community. And then you can also get a free property tax report on your specific home. See what the highest property taxes in the nation are doing to your home value. All the property tax info and home sale info at defendhomeowners.com. Everything else, upstream-ideas.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I was surprised at myself how much energy I had, and I'm doing 2 jobs, running around like a maniac, and I was able to handle it. Really, I'm like, wow, this stuff is really good. So, more than anything else, it just gave me the extra energy and the well-being, feeling of well-being that I don't think I would have without it.
Well, I take it every day, and I feel great. And my wife looks at me and says, how come you never get sick? And I do. It's because I take the fruits and veggies.
I just feel a lot better. My life is turning around. Everything is working for me.
It just helps me feel good. I just think the products are wonderful, and I take them every day. I just like it. It works. When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
When the weather is chilly and cold, it's a great time to get out for some indoor fun for everyone. The Greater Chicago Coin, Currency, and Collectible Show is this month, this Thursday through Saturday, now at the Mega Center at Pheasant Run Resort in St. Charles. Coins and currency are full of history. Coins and currency are fun to look at. Coins and currency can be great investments and a great hobby, too. See one of the largest coin shows in the nation. Admission and parking is free. Just bring your photo ID. Hundreds of dealers, the best from all over the country. See displays valued at millions of dollars. U.S. and world paper money, gold and silver bullion, and a lot more. This is a show for the whole family. The Greater Chicago Coin, Currency, and Collectible Show is this month, this Thursday through Saturday, now at the new location, the Mega Center at Pheasant Run Resort in St. Charles. Admission and parking is free with your photo ID. Get more information at chicagocoinshow.com. chicagocoinshow.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, I want to get to Christopher Wray's testimony before Senate Intel yesterday, but we're talking about the murder of longtime Chicago Police Commander Paul Bauer. Frank in St. Charles, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, I wasn't able to catch all the news on this. Has his mother been interviewed yet, the shooter, to say what a good boy he was and he didn't have no gun and all this other garbage?
No.
That's usually the way these things go.
Yeah,
he's identified as a 44-year-old four-time felon and former prison inmate.
Name not released yet because he hasn't been charged. That will be obviously forthcoming today at some point, I would expect.
And obviously there's no motive because we don't have his name yet, and he just sounded, I mean, honestly, if he was, one of my sources said he was wearing a bulletproof vest underneath his winter coat.
Yeah, that was reported.
Right, but I'm just saying that he was obviously thought something was going to go down. It was going to create trouble because you don't just put that on as a part of your daily routine.
I think that's, for a four-time felon to be wearing a bulletproof vest, I think that speaks to bad intentions more likely than not. But we'll fill in the details again as they become available. Yesterday, Christopher Wray, as I mentioned, FBI director, spent some time testifying before Congress on a number of issues, the Senate Intel Committee specifically. And, of course, one was the criticism that's been directed the FBI's way, including by the President of the United States. And, is that negatively impacting the FBI's ability to do its job and so forth? Here's Wray.
Director Wray, the FBI has been accused of political bias recently against the president by the president himself. In fact, he said the FBI's reputation is, quote, in tatters. Do you think the FBI's reputation is in any way in tatters? And are you confident in the independence of your agents?
Senator, there's no shortage of opinions about our agency, just like every other agency up here and just like the Congress. I can only speak from my experience. And
I hope you're doing better than the Congress.
And my experience has been that every office I go to, every division I go to has patriots, people who could do anything else with their careers but have chosen to work for the FBI because they believe in serving others. And the feedback I get from our state and local law enforcement partners, from our foreign partners, from the folks we work with in the private sector and the community, office after office after office has been very, very gratifying and reassuring to me. And I'm a big believer in the idea that the FBI speaks through its work, through its cases, through the victims it protects.
Yeah.
And I encourage our folks not to get too hung up on what I consider to be the noise on TV and in social media.
Oh, so it's our fault.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro. Answer line 64636-DA, turnkey.pro. Text line, does that answer satisfy you in terms of the leadership of the FBI? It doesn't satisfy other members, retired FBI agents. James Kallstrom, who served the FBI 27 years, former assistant director. We've had him on the show many times. He had a piece in Fox at Fox News. The FBI leader showed a shocking failure of judgment in the Clinton and Trump investigations. He he wrote, the Federal Bureau of Investigation was a notable exception to the politicization of American government. During the 27 years I served there, I never once witnessed political bias that affected in any way our ability to conduct fair and honest investigations based on the rule of law and the integrity that it demands. But times have changed. And he goes on to compare and contrast the decision-making under Comey's FBI with respect to Hillary as with respect to Team Trump. He mentions the basis of obtaining the FISA warrant, and he calls that, quote, a travesty of justice, unquote. We can't know what was in their hearts and heads, but it's obvious to me that the original sin that allowed this to happen was the Obama administration's weaponization of the Justice Department and U.S. intelligence agencies for political ends. I say it's obvious because around the same time the Obama Justice Department was effectively investigating criminal charges against several members of the Trump campaign, it was ignoring the widespread and longstanding criminality of Hillary Clinton and her political operation. Again, a former assistant director of the FBI. The great shame of this scandal is that the embarrassing actions of a few have sullied the reputation of the entire FBI and the thousands of dedicated FBI field agents who have nothing to do with this mess and who continue to do their jobs with exceptional courage, integrity, and dedication for the FBI's reputation to be restored. We need accountability from the leaders who failed the Bureau and a thorough accounting of how and why this great American institution lost its way. Do you think the FBI has lost its way, or is this just
Do you think
so
you'll
much?
ever trust him again?
Yeah, I mean,
For me, it's a matter of trust.
Is it so much Trump tweeting? Is Trump the only one who believes the FBI has lost its way, or do actual American, everyday American citizens believe that as well? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro. Answer line 64636-DA, turnkey.pro. Text line.
We all know FBI agents, and we know that there's always some bad apples. But when I just think to Dr. Nasser, you remember the gymnastics medical doctor. You're familiar
From
with
a
his
week
work.
ago? Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they knew about him, and they didn't act on it. They were investigating him, and they stopped their investigation or just let it linger. And 27 other women or young girls were assaulted by him during that time. So that erodes my trust in the FBI as well, especially the handling of everything with the Russian dossier.
There was a CNN focus group on the topic.
Oh, was it with a bunch of ladies from Miami?
No, that's a different one. This one, Martin Savage moderated. He went out to Cedar Rapids to talk to Trump voters,
We
Trump
call
supporters.
them Cedar Rapidians.
Yeah,
That's what we call them. Well, I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, that sounds.
That's
re-
what.
I
No,
like
no,
that.
that's what we
Sounds-
call them.
All right.
I live there. They're Cedar Rapidians.
And how do they feel about Trump right now? And then we'll get to the FBI.
I'm with 4 Trump voters, an aerobics instructor, a banker, a former baseball player, and a salesman. President Trump's approval ratings with his base and these Iowans are sky high.
I think exactly what I voted for. We wanted a little bit of a change from what we had before.
These voters trust Trump, but they do not trust the Russia investigation. They consider the whole thing a
political witch hunt from the get-go. To be honest, it's a disgrace.
And to the question of whether they have trust, the aerobics instructor, the banker, the former baseball player, do they?
Sounds like a fun Friday night at a bar, huh?
Sounds like the Village People. Do you have trust in the FBI?
Do you have faith in the FBI?
Hell no.
No.
No, absolutely not.
You think that the FBI has a political bias in this case?
I believe yes. Yeah.
Okay, I want to preface by saying it's not the FBI, it's the leadership of the FBI
Agree.
that has politicized this. And in this situation, the people that are at the top of the food chain have decided that they don't like the game. They're going to change it. They're going to play by their rules.
And interestingly, this doesn't mean that this is just willful blindness. These are so many ostriches that are just putting their heads in the sand and they don't want to hear the other side. They don't want to be have all of the facts laid bare. It's quite the opposite. To the question of firing Bob Mueller.
So you don't want to see Mueller fired?
No. Let it run the course. They're doing the right thing. Let it run its course. Because the truth will come out.
Interestingly, related story, Byron York, our friend Byron York of the Washington Examiner, reporting that Comey told FBI agents he didn't think Michael Flynn lied. Michael Flynn, who is currently awaiting sentencing on a plea deal for lying to the FBI, according to 2 sources familiar with the meetings that Comey had. Comey told, with Congress, Comey told lawmakers that the FBI agents who interviewed Flynn did not believe that Flynn had lied to them or that any inaccuracies in his answers were intentional. As a result, many of those in attendance came away with the impression that Flynn would not be charged pertaining to his January 24th interview. 9 months later, with Comey gone, Special Counsel Bob Mueller in charge, Flynn pleaded guilty to one count of making false statements. More questions raised by this reporting. Tim in Crown Point, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, with that FBI, they didn't just, it wasn't just the FBI, it was the DOJ, the CIA, the head of the tax department. Every agency was affected under Obama, right?
Yeah,
it wasn't just the FBI.
Well, right, fair point, Tim. Thanks for the call. Certainly the IRS was, and as Jim Kallstrom is writing in Fox, yeah, he suggests precisely what you're saying, that the Obama administration weaponized justice and U.S. intelligence agencies for political ends. That's literally verbatim what Kallstrom wrote. Greg in Schaumburg.
And the rest of the world, other than Fox listeners and listeners to your show, are a whole year behind the times. They don't know what's going on. So wait till it kicks in. And Dan and Amy, this morning, the first thing I read in the Trib, I don't know what the lady's name is, but it's one of their columnists. She was talking about the fact that Trump has a rating of 33% favorable, 9 or 11% with black women, and 22% with white women. These people are drugs. They just are in another world.
That's 33%. They survey the Tribune editorial board. That's
exactly
that's
right.
why. That's why. Yeah, I mean, actually, I've seen his approval ratings have bumped up into the mid to even north of the mid 40s. I mean, as I saw 46-51.
Really?
So yeah, there's been a booing effect with the tax cuts, and I think some of the a boomerang effect of some of these phony baloney politicized investigations and media coverage.
And Dan, these people aren't going to give up. Regardless of what the real media is saying, they're going to continue to drive it and drive it and drive it because they become propagandists.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the call, Greg. Jim in Tampa Bay.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for taking my call. My question is, why is the FBI immune from criticism? And I think they should be criticized.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it reminds me of the Saddam Hussein 11 million to 0 victory for president. Why? Wait a minute. Are you saying no one should criticize the FBI? I think that's crazy.
Totally agree.
Thank you.
Thanks for the call, Jim. I think it's being specific about the criticism, kind of not painting with a broad brush, as it were. But the idea that any person in a position of power, particularly in our government, any agency, is beyond reproach, it's like the Chicago Department of Transportation. You can only call them and leave a message if you have a compliment. The idea that should be the protocol for any person of any political party, any agency in government is absurd. It's anti-democratic, small d. Jordan in Forest Park.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I think Comey actually hinted at exactly what happened last year with the Hillary investigation. He made a statement at one point where he said Hillary was not going to be prosecuted, according to the DOJ. So they have to create a narrative that fits that. And so you control the investigators, you control the investigation, and you come up with something that basically exonerates her. And I think that's the more telling example of the politicalization of the FBI. And I think it's continuing now. It's directed at the top level, but you have to control the investigators doing the work, and then you can get the result you want.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Jordan. Good point. And the other thing that's interesting, though, is what Comey's assessment of Flynn versus Mueller's assessment of Flynn. Why the difference? Comey tells lawmakers Flynn didn't lie, certainly not intentionally. Mueller strikes a plea bargain with Flynn for that very charge. That needs to be sussed out, too. That needs to be explained if Byron York's reporting is accurate, which it normally is.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
On this Valentine's Day, a study finds that it's better to be single for the larger society. It's a selfless act, which is consistent with my single status.
Oh, yes. And how is everybody celebrating Valentine's Day? And what are you giving up for lunch? Because it's also Ash Wednesday. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
28 and heavy fog this morning. Visibilities are reduced considerably, especially centered on Joliet and Aurora and parts of northwest Indiana. Chicago Police Department this morning and the city itself reeling from the death of 18th District Commander Paul Bauer, fatally wounded while confronting an armed suspect in the Loop yesterday afternoon. AM 560's David Stewart has a follow-up to what has been reported on in this story.
Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson fought back tears telling how the 53-year-old Bauer lost his life. He was off duty but responded to a radio call about a suspect being chased toward the Thompson Center where Bauer was. Johnson said Bauer confronted the suspect and was shot multiple times.
Unfortunately, Commander Bauer passed away.
Mayor Emanuel said Bauer stood for the highest ideals of the police department. Alderman Patrick Thompson called him a true hero, and Attorney General Lisa Madigan praised him for his service. Superintendent Johnson.
It's a difficult day for us, but we will get through it.
David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
The Tribune is reporting the suspect in the case is a four-time felon with a lengthy arrest record who spent 16 years in prison for a 1998 robbery. Immigration reform remains on the agenda in Washington as lawmakers scramble to reach a deal. New York Attorney General Eric Schneiderman says a coalition of 17 state attorneys general has won a preliminary injunction to block the president's attempt to end DACA, the Dreamers program.
People can submit their DACA renewal applications and have them adjudicated.
The president announced plans to begin phasing out that program next month. Olympic snowboard champ Shaun White waving off a 2016 lawsuit that accuses him of sexual harassment as gossip. At least 2 are dead, 3 others hurt after a volley of gunfire Tuesday night in New Orleans' lower 9th Ward, the end of the Mardi Gras celebrations there. 1 climber is dead, after falling 700 feet on Oregon's Mount Hood. County sheriffs there say the two others were also pulled from the mountain without major injuries. An investigation is underway this morning after a man was found dead in Chicago's Loop. The victim's body discovered early this morning on a ramp in the 300 block of Lower East Wacker Drive. Illinois House Speaker Mike Madigan says he won't step down, even as there are more questions about how he, his campaign, and Democrats in Illinois handled a sexual harassment complaint last year. In fact, one of the Democrats running for governor, Chris Kennedy, says Madigan needs to resign immediately. Knights over the Blackhawks 5-2 last night on the ice. On the college hardwood, Rutgers took down Northwestern. Our Northern Illinois Huskies fell to Central Michigan in the MAC, and the Bulls welcomed the Raptors to the United Center tonight. The news, a service of Rocket Mortgage by Quicken. Rocket Mortgage is simple, so you can understand the details and be sure you're getting the right mortgage. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently. Visit rocketmortgage.com today. Licensed in all 50 states. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 3030. 6:33 is our time. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager believes kids should take a year before going to college.
I have advocated to parents that they not send their child to college right after high school. The ideal is to work for a year, especially as a waiter or waitress. I think that it has a built-in conservatism because reality is conservative.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois.
As a small business owner, you're juggling it all, including customers' calls from your personal phone. But with Grasshopper, you get a business phone number and a business phone system from our mobile app, so you can work smarter, not harder. Grasshopper forwards calls, texts, even transcribes voicemails. Everything you need to simplify your business and stay responsive. With Grasshopper, there's no long-term contracts, and customer support is 24/7. Whether you're starting or growing your business, Grasshopper is the answer. Now get $20 off your first month when you visit grasshopper.com/radio.
Blue Star medicated ointment works fast to relieve the pain and itch of almost any skin irritation.
It's amazing. It's like as soon as you put it on, you can feel it working. We've had Blue Star in the family for years. It works on everything.
I love the cooling sensation on my athlete's foot.
What a relief for my eczema.
Nothing worked on my dry, cracked skin until I tried Blue Star.
Blue Star is great for scalp itch.
Look for the white box with the Blue Star in the first aid section. Feel Blue Star work fast, or your money back.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Now that I've got your attention, my name is Jeannie Ives, and I'm the conservative running against Bruce Rauner for governor. I'm an economic liberty, pro-family West Point grad. I've spent the last 5 years battling Chicago Democrats. I didn't think I'd have to spend so much time battling Bruce Rauner. But when Rauner betrayed conservative families, that's exactly what I did. Rauner made Illinois a sanctuary state. I voted against it. Rauner made you pay for abortions in all 9 months of pregnancy. I voted against it, and so did every other Republican legislator. Rauner took money from your schools to bail out the Chicago public schools. I voted against it. National Review has called Rauner the worst Republican governor in the country because he is. Rauner betrayed us. I honor who we are as conservatives. Rauner can't win re-election. He said he's not in charge. With your help, I'll lead the charge.
Paid for by Ives for Illinois.
It is 6:36. Let's get an update on those morning roads. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. As you mentioned, those visibilities are severely reduced, especially west and south of Chicago. We are not seeing many flight delays at this time. We'll keep an eye on that. We are seeing big delays on westbound I-80 through that fog. The Veterans Memorial Toolway to Gallagher Road. A truck smacked the center median. There's a crash there that's blocking the left lane. Also, we see heavy roadwork delays on southbound I-55, Arsenal past Blodgett. Right lane's closed till 4 this afternoon. Northbound, heavy starting at 53, and the Stevenson is already 58 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, up on 36. Eden's 27 minutes, Lake Hook Junction, up on 21. Kennedy, 37 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, up on 26.
Eisenhower, 53 minutes, 390 to the Circle. Napa, 32 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 25 minutes, 90 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 39. Traffic, service of Staples. Let Staples help you this tax season with everything you need for less. From storage boxes and filing supplies to software like QuickBooks and TurboTax. Right now, get up to $15 off if you buy TurboTax. Ends 2/17/18. Excludes TurboTax Basic. Staples, it's pro time. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Clouds on the increase. Heavy fog this morning, a high 42. Cloudy fog and 38 overnight. Currently, 27 degrees at O'Hare. Your next news update is at 7. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. I agree with Ted Cruz. If you're in this country illegally, you should not get a pathway to citizenship. We'll talk about it when freedom returns at 5.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Who's the special someone you're going to text pictures of your junk to on this Valentine's Day? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. I asked because I know that's how Olympic gold medalist Shaun White likes to court paramours.
He's in a band, don't you know? And,
what's it called?
Half Pipe.
Oh, nice double entendre.
No, I don't know.
That's a full pipe.
He's
sorry. Back.
Find out. I don't know that he's in a band, and the female drummer of his band, he was, trying to court, and the way to court these days is to send pictures of your privates. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't. But
she
okay.
filed a civil suit against him. They settled up in February, but yesterday last night when he won the gold medal for the half pipe by doing this move. Did you see it? Did you watch it?
Yeah.
He did this move that's so spectacular. I don't even know the name of it, but when he tried it during practice in New Zealand, he cut his face and had to get 60 stitches.
I don't know the name of it either, but I know it involves making a snow angel with your junk. and it's difficult to do on a snowboard.
So Shaun White at the podium last night after he won the gold.
At the bottom, all those emotions hit me. I won. Everything we've been through, every, dream I've had, trying to sleep last night,
Yeah,
and I'm like living that dream right now, so it's amazing.
So rad, man.
Totally.
The name of his band?
It's crazy.
Ready? Bad Things. And bad things do happen if you send pictures of your privates to women. And they asked in this Me Too movement world that we live in now, after, he was celebrating, and then somebody said, well, what about sending those pictures? What about the harassment claim?
Honestly, here to talk about the Olympics, not, gossip. So, but I don't think so. I am who I am, and I'm proud of who I am, and my friends, love me and vouch for me, and I think that stands on its own. So.
Well, not that I don't really want to defend it because I find the practice bizarre and disgusting, but he was dating this woman who he sent the graphic text messages to, and she didn't like it, and so she accused him of harassing her, and then they settled.
Yeah,
that's the same thing as violence or truly predatory behavior.
It's
is that
sexual harassment?
Is it? I mean, if you unwanted,
everyone's got their own story.
You send unwanted text. Okay, I get it. But does this rise to the level of the other stories we're talking about that are more serious? There's no professional. I mean, she's a drummer in the band. I mean, but there's no professional implications of this to this. She would. I just think
they're not in the band together anymore.
I don't really get this one. I got to tell you. I don't approve of the practice, but I don't get this one. Do you?
No, I mean, he admitted he sent the text, but she said that he was also harassing her and trying to get him back, and he's denied that. So it's just
this is that makes him a predator or something. We're covering up for Shaun White. He's the gold medalist, golden boy on the snow, but he's really this monster.
He's not a monster.
Come on.
And his winning the gold medal was the 100th medal that the United States of America has won in a winter games.
Yeah, well,
that's why it was celebrated even more.
We've got to keep going if we're going to catch those.
The Norwegians. And there's a three-way tie, the Germans, the Canadians, and the Dutch.
Maybe President Trump, when he said we need more people, allegedly said we need more people from Norway, he was thinking about it for the Winter Olympics.
Yeah. That's right.
He just completes his thought.
More you peoples. But it is Valentine's Day, and Dan, how are you celebrating?
By remembering the Christian martyrs, one or more Christian martyrs that the day commemorates.
Oh, I thought this was a Hallmark holiday.
No, they're Saint Valentinus, one or more. Let me tell you a story about Saint Valentinus.
You people pray to saints; the Episcopalians don't. Yeah, right. But I'd like to hear more about Saint Valentinus.
Saint Valentinus of Rome.
That guy.
He was imprisoned and tortured for secretly marrying Roman soldiers. It was Emperor Claudius Gothicus who thought unmarried soldiers were better soldiers, better fighters, so he prohibited soldiers from marrying. But even in a permissive society of Rome, in the time of Claudius Gothicus, the church held marriage to be a sacred,
Right.
sacrament. Technically, I guess it still is.
Between men and women.
One man and one woman.
Not two soldiers
in particular.
marrying each other.
Yeah,
Yes.
one man and one woman in particular. Yeah, that's right. And so he would secretly marry Roman soldiers and their spouses, of course, their wives, and he was tortured and imprisoned and sentenced to die because of it. And so Ash Wednesday, but also St. Valentine's Day is rooted in Christian tradition.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how are you celebrating? And it's also, it's rare for Valentine's Day to fall on Ash Wednesday. I think the last time this happened was 1956 when I was in high school.
I'm celebrating. I'm going to join the Roman army.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's how I'm celebrating.
No, what are you doing with your dog tonight? Hayek. Oh.
We've got plans. What?
What? Does this hurt? Does this sting a little bit, Dan?
It doesn't. I understand the leadership I must provide, consistent with a 2015 study that found that marriage can constrain people socially.
No duh. Really.
No duh was the peer-reviewed response. Not always a happy ending we perceive it to be.
Really?
I don't
It's
know
not
if you're
like the
aware-
movies, Dan?
I don't know if you're
Is
aware
this
of
going to end well?
Yeah. All marriages are like, John Cusack.
Yeah. So romantic.
Jennifer Beckett or Kate Beckinsale rom-com, right? Single individuals are more likely to frequently stay in touch with, provide help to, and receive help from parents, siblings, neighbors, and friends than the married, according to the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, which is my Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The study found that being single increased the social connections of both men and women, a trend that remained even when taking into account structural explanations of social relationships. The researchers concluded that instead of promoting marriage, much to the chagrin of St. Valentinus, I'm sure, public policy should acknowledge the social constraints associated with marriage and recognize that single individuals have greater involvement with the broader community. You're welcome, broader community.
Mm-hmm.
Society undervalues the lives, relationships, and stories of single people. That so often the told story is the romantic one of how two married people met, than the lives of people independent of one another. And studies show that people who get married do not end up happier or psychologically healthier than when they were single. You've been on both sides of that divide.
I don't want to.
Do you want to comment on the topic?
All I can say is that I cannot stand Valentine's Day. I have never liked Valentine's Day, and I think it's stupid. I'm glad that St. Valentinus, or whatever his name is, married Roman soldiers. That's a nice aspect. But it's turned into a Hallmark holiday, and it makes people who are single feel bad about themselves.
I'm not even sure you can, in this cultural Marxist culture that we're all embracing, most of us, or we're embracing through our cowardice and unwillingness to stand up against it. I'm not even sure you can accept or receive Valentine's Day cards. I mean, I'm used to not receiving Valentine's Day
but
cards.
Nowadays, if one person gets a card, the entire class has to get a card.
Did you make Valentine's Day card boxes when you were in school?
Oh yeah, out of a shoebox, and then
Yeah.
you slit a little hole on top, and you wrap it in red and then decorate it. I didn't wrap it in red and decorate it. I'm more of a tomboy, so I just left the box out. But I got a lot of cards. Ron Dominicki, what's his name?
Who?
Kenny Whitlow and Ron Dominicki. Hey!
What are their inmate numbers at present?
No, that's John Bunda.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
John Bunda.
I did as well.
Rich Ravenscraft gave me one too. What did you do?
Please, continue with the cards you
Andy
received.
Stores.
Yeah.
Mike Sanka, John Ackman. I mean, it goes on and on. These are people you spend your whole lives with, from kindergarten through Hersey High School.
That's your whole life?
Well, not my whole life, but a big chunk of it.
Yeah.
So, who did you get Valentine's Day cards from?
Who'd
you go to prom with?
So I did a box too. We did boxes at St. Michael's and decorated, and I used all the colored paper and the hearts.
They're so cute.
And
your
it's
box?
sort of a tragic ending that explains so much. And so my box has now been placed in a fiberglass case at St. Michael's because it's the only box that was never violated by a Valentine's Day card. It's pristine. It's a pristine box. It's a real tribute to St. Valentinus. At least that's how I rationalized it.
Sorry.
You choose me? Happy Valentine's.
If only Lisa Simpson had been in my class.
Oh, no, I feel bad. And you didn't even go to prom. Did you even try to go to prom? Did you ask anybody? Because that's how that works, Dan.
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, my God. It's really, I think that's a travesty that you don't have a prom picture or anything.
Don't have a Valentine's Day card.
No Valentine's Day card? No little Be Mine little candies or choose me?
I bought myself some of those heart candies because I like them.
I kind of feel bad.
Hayek likes me. Dan and Winfield, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hello.
Hey, Dan.
Hi, Dan. Amy, there's a common misunderstanding about Catholics.
Okay.
We don't pray to saints.
Mm-hmm.
We ask saints to pray for us.
Yes, Queen of Victory, pray for us. Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But Amy just said, we don't pray to saints.
Oh,
so we don't really either.
Okay.
Thanks for the call, Dan.
For the clarification.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Good. Dan's right about that.
I forgot to go to my CCD classes. I couldn't.
I missed that. I missed you saying that. I'm glad Dan corrected.
Yeah.
We got the Catholic Truth Squad out there listening to you.
Got the God Squad on me. I get it.
So be careful. I wanted to share this with you too.
Is this another sad story in the day in the life of Dan Proft?
Well, this is Sean Connery. Remember
that caller said that he beats up his wife and she likes it. Remember? Oh no! Please don't tell me it was true.
This is from a 1987 Barbara Walters interview with Sean Connery. I want to get your reaction to this. Now, just remember.
Oh my gosh!
Just remember, he has a license to kill, so be careful.
I know Sean Connery regrets this conversation.
Okay, you did an interview in which you said, not the worst thing to slap a woman now and then. As I remember, you said you don't do it with a clenched fist. It's better to do it with an open hand. Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I didn't love that.
I haven't changed my opinion.
You haven't?
No. What?
Do you think it's good to slap a woman?
No, I don't think it's good.
You don't think it's bad?
I don't think it's that bad. I think that it depends entirely on the circumstances and if it merits it. Yeah.
What would merit it?
Well, if you have tried everything else, and women are pretty good at this, they can't leave it alone. They don't want to have the last word, and you give them the last word, but they're not happy with the last word. They want to say it again and get into a really provocative situation. Then I think it's absolutely right.
By the way, Sean Connery has been married to Micheline for 31 years.
That's
Amy,
quite a Me Too story.
That was 1987. It was a different time. Oh.
Too soon.
What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think he's barbaric, and she's a fool for staying with him, but that's their business.
Steve in Hinsdale.
My high school prom was on the 2nd of June
1967 in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And last year,
Go
I finally stalked down my date, who I hadn't seen since that night. What is it, like 52 years?
Yeah.
And saw her last year, and it was wonderful. Even my current wife, who, by the way, is my best wife ever. I've had a number of wives, but she's the best. Didn't have any trouble letting me go. So it's a nice Valentine's Day story. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Great, and congratulations on being married to the best wife that you've had of your many wives. Mike on the north side.
Good morning. There's a place in Elston and Keeler called O'Donnell's Bar.
Oh, yes.
And they have a nerd prom every spring for people who didn't get to go to prom. So maybe this year, Dan and Bruce and John could all go. You can get Amy and Kristen to be your escorts. Maybe you can even do a remote broadcast from there.
Yeah, that's an idea.
Nerd prom.
Thanks for the call, Mike.
And I'm glad you're back. I haven't heard from you in a long time.
George and Monique.
Hey, Dan, domestic violence can be wiped out with 2 words, man. Shut up. Not that hard.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Layoffs ahead at Barnes & Noble. A long labor dispute between Yale University and some of its graduate students has ended. Those stories next.
You like freedom? I do. You like money? Well, I do too. If you like freedom and money, then you're going to love Freedom Checks. You see, over the next few months, an estimated $34.6 billion is up for grabs to anyone who stakes their claim. Yep, you heard that right. $34.6 billion. To get all the details, just go to www.myfreedomchecks.com. Thousands of people are already lined up to cash in. Take Doug, for example. He's a 46-year-old from Joplin, Missouri, who's set to get a check for $24,075. And if Doug can do this, I've got a hunch that you can too. But here's the thing. If you want the chance to grab your full fair share of this $34.6 billion payout, you must have your ducks in a row by March 1st. So don't wait. Get over to www.myfreedomchecks.com before the March 1st deadline. That's www.myfreedomchecks.com.
Troubled bookseller Barnes & Noble hopes to save almost $40 million a year. A new round of layoffs and new staffing rules to achieve that savings, allowing stores to increase or decrease the number of people working based on store traffic. This week's layoffs come after weak fourth-quarter sales. A long labor dispute between Yale University and some of its graduate students has ended with a union telling the university it's withdrawing from organizing efforts. Yale had refused to negotiate with graduate students, and the union says it doesn't believe the Trump administration's NLRB would ever side with the organizers. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
If you did not purchase health insurance coverage during the 2017 open enrollment, I can help you purchase a PPO health insurance plan at any time during the year. This is Tom Marabali, your health insurance advocate and independent producer for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois and other health insurance carriers. If you are between the ages of 19 and 64, you are automatically paying for maternity coverage whether you want the coverage or not. If you are a non-smoking 50-year-old male or female living in the city of Chicago, the monthly premium rate for a 100% tax-deductible health savings account PPO plan would be $590 per month. But I can show you how to eliminate the mandatory maternity benefit and lower your monthly premiums down to approximately $240 per month. To see if you qualify or for more information, call me, Tom Marabali, at 630-863-3477. That's 630-863-3477.
Looking to refinance your home? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Sally's heard hundreds of Team Hochberg's ads, so naturally she called the nation's largest online lender, obsessed with their Rocket, because she saw their ad pumping gas. Bad move. The Rocket-loving lender quoted Sally a rate higher than us, and closing costs $6,000 more than Team Hochberg's. We explained the exorbitant closing costs and refinanced Sally into a lower rate and credited all of her closing costs. Team Hochberg doesn't have a Rocket, but we have lower rates and substantially lower closing costs than the nation's largest online rocket-loving lender. You could call the nation's largest online lender who spends millions promoting their rocket by charging excessive closing costs, or you could call Team Hochberg at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage and Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Amanda Zanger, owner of Black Industrial and Safety Supply in Hammond, Indiana, and a business customer of Signature Bank. Prior to owning my own business, I worked for a major financial institution. So when it came time to finance the acquisition of Black, I approached a big bank, only to receive a solid no. That's when Signature Bank stepped in. With Signature Bank, the process was different. Signature provided creative financing options that enabled me to purchase Black and continue to grow the business. Thanks to Signature Bank, Black Industrial is able to continue serving Fortune 500 industry fabricators and contractors with tools and safety supplies as we have since 1893.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago Lyric Opera presents a thrilling new production of Faust this March. Faust longs to be young again, and his wish comes true when he sells his soul to the devil with disastrous consequences. This morning, we're giving away a pair of tickets to Faust at the Lyric Opera to the 6th caller, 312-642-5600.
Now here is Mike Scott.
The very latest on developing weather situation with heavy fog drifting over the area. WIND Chicago News Time 7.
Senators are still debating, trying to find immigration common ground. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Let it rip. Let's go.
He sounds gung-ho, but Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer is not interested in President Trump's broken DACA compromise.
We recognize we're not going to get everything we want. We hope the president and Republicans realize the same.
He's okay with border security funding in exchange for a path to citizenship for nearly 2 million immigrants brought here illegally as kids, but the president and Senate Republicans pushing his plan also demand
ending chain migration and canceling the visa lottery.
Meanwhile, a second court has blocked President Trump's plan to end DACA.
A U.S. district judge in New York's ruled Attorney General Jeff Sessions was wrong when he concluded DACA is unconstitutional. That judge granting a preliminary injunction requested by state attorneys general. Last month, a U.S. district judge in San Francisco ruled DACA's got to stay in place while it's being litigated.
Fox's Jill Nato. A fourth gold medal for the U.S. at the Olympics, won by a snowboarding legend, Shaun White. Fox's Simon Owen, live in Seoul, South Korea.
Dave, Shaun White becoming the first snowboarder to win 3 Olympic gold medals with victory in the halfpipe. The win secured on the very final run of the contest. The 31-year-old saying it means the world to him. But there was a moment of tension at his post-victory news conference. White was asked about sexual harassment allegations he faced 2 years ago and whether they might tarnish his reputation.
You know, honestly, here to talk about the Olympics, not, gossip. So, But I don't think so.
And he didn't take any further questions on that subject. Dave?
Simon Fright on a United flight from San Francisco to Honolulu. A loud bang scared passengers, took pictures of the right engine damaged, messaging loved ones, and 40 minutes later... With passengers leaning forward, heads down, chanting brace, the plane landed safely. Nobody was hurt. Fox News, fair and balanced.
29 degrees and heavy fog spreading across the area this morning. 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Chicago Police Department in the city reeling after the death of a Chicago police commander shot and killed in the Thompson Center in the Loop. Commander Paul Bauer was gunned down yesterday while assisting a tactical team chasing a man in that state government office building. 53-year-old Bauer was pronounced dead at Northwestern Memorial Hospital. Superintendent Eddie Johnson spoke with reporters a short time later.
I want you all to know how important it is for us, not just the police department, but as a city, that we support his family, because they're leaning on us now. His family paid a huge debt to keep the citizens of this city safe, and we owe them. We owe them.
Bauer is the first police officer killed since 2011. He leaves behind a 13-year-old daughter. The Tribune is reporting the suspect is a 4-time felon with a lengthy arrest record. Governor Bruce Rauner outlines his budget proposal at the state capitol today. AM 560's David Stewart has a preview.
Governor Rauner and the Democrats who control the legislature differ on whether Rauner's other budgets were truly balanced. But once again this year, he says his plan is to live within the state's means, even as he works to roll back last year's income tax hike that was passed over his veto. But Senate President John Cullerton says he's skeptical.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow's presentation to see how he does it. It should be interesting. He's promised a lot. So far, he has not even come close to passing a balanced budget.
The state's new fiscal year begins July 1st. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
One man is dead, 2 others hurt after a taxi cab was carjacked on Chicago's near north side. Police say a man attacked the driver, then stole his vehicle last night in the 200 block of West Walton. The suspect then drove off before crashing that cab into more cars in the 800 block of North Larrabee. The Evanston city clerk this morning is in some hot water after being arrested during a traffic stop. Devin Reed was pulled over early yesterday in the 9400 block of McCormick Boulevard in Evanston. He was then arrested for driving on a suspended license. He was also cited for failing to signal when required and for possession of about 10 grams of marijuana. Las Vegas Knights came to life with 4 goals in the third period with a 5-2 win over the Blackhawks. Rutgers took down Northwestern in Big Ten college hoops 67-58. Northern Illinois was beaten by Central Michigan 80-72. The news service of Accountemps. When you could use help closing your books and need additional staff, it's time to call Accountemps. They can provide you with bookkeepers and other accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or project basis, and fast. Call today. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. 7:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Our nation is deeply divided. Gone are the days when civil discourse bridged the gap between the two sides. If we'll ever find common ground, we must get beyond the talking points. AM 560, The Answer, is bringing together 2 of America's sharpest political minds from opposite sides of the aisle. To do just that, it's Beyond the Talking Points with Dan Proft and Donna Brazil on Thursday, March 22nd. Proft and Brazil will go head-to-head, tackling the big issues facing our nation. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/beyond.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
Want to know the secret that all those flipping houses gurus won't tell you? Flipping multi-unit properties is easier and more profitable than flipping single-family homes. With over 17 years of experience, we here at RE Mentor will show you the art of buying and selling multi-unit properties. Come spend the afternoon or evening with our team of experts, and we'll show you how to put $10,000 to $30,000 in your pocket over the next 90 days. This 2-hour class will teach you the art of the multi-unit flip and long-term hold. You'll learn how to buy, hold, and sell multi-unit properties with no money down, no credit, and no risk. You risk nothing but have everything to gain. This intensive 2-hour real estate class is coming to the Chicago area soon. Call 800-559-1577 to secure your seat. This seminar is free to the first 30 people that call. Change your life now and learn the art of the multi-unit flip or long-term hold. Call 800-559-1577. That's 800-559-1577.
Picture your son in 10 years. What kind of man do you hope to see? I know you want your son to be a man of character. It's Dan Proft, and I urge you to consider Northridge Prep. ranked the #1 best all-boys school in Illinois for 2 years running, and a top 100 high school in America from U.S. News. Don't miss their open house on March 25th. Northridge Prep is an independent Catholic school for boys in grades 6 through 12 located in Niles. There's no brainwashing that's prevalent elsewhere. They instill the traditional values that you hold as parents. Northridge Prep is all boys with an all-male faculty. They celebrate your son's natural enthusiasm and energy. It's a good place to be a boy. Every teacher is a great role model who gets to the hearts of their students. Their demanding liberal arts curriculum produces well-rounded men with the ability to think for themselves. Grads go on to the best universities, including the Ivy League, and have top athletics and arts programs. I strongly encourage you to attend Northridge Prep's open house on March 25th. To learn more, visit northridgeprep.org. That's northridgeprep.org.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Diana's hired with Indeed.
It just gives me so many more qualified applicants to choose from.
Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
What happened? You used to go hours without visiting the bathroom. Now it seems like you're constantly getting up to pee. Listen, the makers of Super Beta Prostate are introducing a new wonder pill, Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced, with 3 key ingredients that are great for your prostate. To celebrate, your first 30-day supply is free. Pay shipping and handling. Get P3 Advanced free. Call 1-800-257-5251. 1-800-257-5251. 1-800-257-5251.
7:08. Let's get a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. I-80 traffic is at a standstill westbound Parker Road to Gallagher. Crash still blocking the left lane. Eastbound, it's stop and go from the Des Plaines River Bridge to Gallagher. Eden's inbound slow crack to Montrose. 32 minutes Lake Cook Junction. Outbound 25. Kennedy, 43 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 20 from Montrose, 22 in the Express. Outbound 14 minutes to Montrose, 33 to the airport on Eisenhower. An hour from 390 to downtown, 45 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 38 to 390. Stevenson, you get an hour and 4 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. 46 minutes from the Tri-State. Outbound 40 to 355. Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 30 minutes, I-80 to the Merge Bishop, Ford 42. Delays on the northbound Tri-State from 115th to Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Northbound Veterans Memorial, just a little congested approaching Reagan Tollway. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, increasing clouds, high 42. Tonight, mostly cloudy with areas of late night fog, low 38. Tomorrow, areas of fog continue into the morning, otherwise a cloudy day with periods of rain in the afternoon, high 42. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
27 at O'Hare, 29 along the lakefront. Your next news update, 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And so yesterday, as by now you've heard and we've mentioned, yesterday afternoon outside the Thompson Center, 31-year Chicago police veteran, 18th District Commander Paul Bauer was shot and killed, murdered by an armed assailant he was trying to stop in response to a call of an active shooter that went out, leaving behind a wife and a 13-year-old daughter.
It actually started around 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, yesterday afternoon. A tactical team was questioning a man near State and Wacker Street about a possible connection to a shooting that happened on Saturday. So they said the man took off running. He ran straight outside the Thompson Center. That's where he was confronted by Bauer, the commander, who's in charge of the 18th District. And he shot him multiple times, and his body fell into the stairwell, and people around did not know what was going on. They thought it was a terrorist attack.
I heard shots, and then I started thinking terrorist attack. Everybody started running. I'm talking about it was like a scene out of a movie.
People started running to the escalator, and they were all trying to get up the escalator at the same time.
I saw people out on the plaza wildly running, screaming, there's been shots, there's been shots.
Well, of course, I mean, you know, for those of you who don't know, this is a heavily populated area. You've got the Thompson of the State of Illinois building, crosses the City Hall and county buildings. Well, you know, two sides of the same building. But so you've got thousands upon thousands of people that are milling about on that public area throughout the day.
And everyone responded, you know, to that dreaded 10-1 call that no one ever wants to hear.
Off the shot, off the down.
And Superintendent Eddie Johnson went, you know, immediately to Northwestern Hospital. That's where he was taken. That's where he was pronounced dead. And his wife was there, his 13-year-old daughter there as well.
Today, the city of Chicago lost a piece of itself, and CPD certainly lost a huge piece of itself.
And there's a perception out there.
Oh, and then just so you know, Eddie, Commander Bauer, very well known, was again in charge of the 18th District. It has been decades since somebody that high ranking has been killed in the line of duty. But he was also known to the people of the 18th District. He would, you know, be at community policing meetings. And actually, he was featured last July for Coffee with the Commander on WCIU.
And there's a perception out there that there's this wall or there's a lot of mistrust with the police department. On my perspective, I've never been thanked more for my service in the last 2 to 3 years, total, combined, compared to the previous 28 years.
Yeah, well, partly, of course, that's because police has become so politicized and
vilified.
Right, and so you have, you know, the kind of the Black Lives Matter, pigs in a blanket, fry 'em like bacon crowd, and then you have other people who recognize the job that police officers do to protect and serve and do admirably and heroically in many instances, as in this case, as a general matter. And so they want to make it a point to say, you know, the people that are denigrating all police officers or suggesting that police departments like Chicago's, as Obama's Department of Justice did, oh, by the way, are institutionally racist. Well, that's not something I believe. That's not true. And I want you to know that. So, I mean, to some extent, the politicization of it generates the, you know, the opposite reaction of people who understand police and the job they do, being complimentary and wanting to make sure police officers know that we appreciate they have our back.
After being shot multiple times and fatally shot, other foot patrol officers were able to subdue the gunman. We know he's 44 years old. They're not releasing his name yet because he has not been officially charged. But no stranger to the law. He's been charged in the past and served time for drug charges, gun charges, armed robbery charges. Spent 16 years in prison in 1998 for robbery. And
four-time convicted felon.
Yeah.
We're going to find out what the deal was with this, and we'll convey that when we do, as will Mike Scott. But the fact that he was wearing
a bulletproof vest,
makes this seem like there was, obviously seemed like there was bad intentions from the get-go. This wasn't some verbal or physical altercation that just happened organically and escalated. This is something else, I suspect, but we'll provide those details when they get filled in.
And he didn't fight. You know, you can see there's video out there where he didn't fight. You know, when they put the handcuffs on him, they recovered the weapon that was used in the shooting. So again, we'll find out a motive and his name later today.
I recalls last summer for our golf outing here at AM 560, our annual golf outing, the beneficiary charity that we always partner with. We partner with different ones. We've done Support Our Veterans, Deb Rickards Group. Last year we did the 100 Club. Joe Ahern's the president of 100 Club, but the 100 Club is a nonprofit that serves and provides financial support and other support to the families of fallen police officers. So, you know, it's something that people here at AM 560 and in Salem take very seriously. That's why we partnered with 100 Club. They're a great partner. It's a great organization. And, you know, this is a time to perhaps consider supporting the 100 Club. So, because in so doing, you're supporting families like Commander Bowers.
And Commander Bowers' family will be visited today by the 100 Club. The Bowers they still live there in the Bridgeport neighborhood. And They even said he was such not only a good father and a good family man, but a good community man. During this recent snowstorm, they said he used a snowblower to clear the sidewalk for the entire block, both sides of the street. He attended Nativity of Our Lord Catholic Church, and a reporter from the Tribune was out talking to neighbors yesterday, and they said everyone, that they spoke to had tears in their eyes, but there was one man who was shoveling his mother's car out of the snow, and he told the reporter, you know what, I could count on Paul to come and help me right now with this, but he's not here anymore.
A friend of mine who was a year behind him at St. Ignatius emailed me, said, we have this motto at Ignatius, become a man, woman for others. Paul was that until the very end. A police officer who worked under Paul Bauer's command Facebooked me as a police officer who worked under his command. I can say he was a cop's cop and a genuinely nice guy. This is a big loss for CPD. By the way, just on a related story, because I mentioned Black Lives Matter and distinguishing organizations like Black Lives Matter from, say, the 100 Club. Vivica Fox was recently asked about the new movie Black Panther. That's going to be this blockbuster. Is this blockbuster Black Panther? Should a portion of the proceeds go to fund Black Lives Matter? Portion of the proceeds from Black Panther to fund Black Lives Matter. And she said, yes, it should.
Is she in the movie?
Well,
so she's talking about other people's money?
Well, she's talking about the studios and the producers may have something different to say about the topic, but
why doesn't it just go to the Me Too movement or Time's Up?
Just consider that when you're rushing out to see Black Panther, if that's what they decide to do. You want to fund organizations that take a absurd, categorical, antagonistic position towards police officers and advocate in many instances for violence against police officers. I don't think you want to do that. Marianne in Schaumburg, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, this is Marianne. I work with a lot of police departments. I handle their insurance. So these officers in the state are amazing people. We don't hear the stories of personal testimonies of what these guys do. They go an extra mile beyond their employment to help people. They help homeless people. They countless things that they do on their own. But what concerns me is I've talked to chiefs and sheriffs that are retiring after 30, 40 years with the force. They can't wait to get out. But the real concern now is that throughout the country, it's so hard to even get someone to go into the police force. So here's the consequence of that. There are venues throughout the country where the police are now hiring 18-year-olds with only a GED, putting them in a short training program, and then they're putting these young guys and women out on the street with guns. They don't have partners some of the time. It is very dangerous. And the plaintiffs bar is, drooling over this because they can't wait to file more lawsuits. So this is something we really need to be concerned about, and we really need to truly, actively support the police departments. And we have to change this image around. We have to make that a priority. So that's my comment.
Thanks for the call, Marianne. Appreciate it.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, the worst colleges for free speech.
You won't be surprised to learn that my alma mater is on the list.
But Iowa isn't. But today, let me give you your forecast first. Increasing clouds today. The big news is that it's going to be warm, a high of 42 degrees. Tonight, fog rolls in here, and tomorrow morning we'll wake up to areas of fog, then periods of rain in the afternoon. A high again of 42 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. I-80 westbound traffic's at a standstill. Wolf to Gallagher. The left lane is still blocked there with a truck crash. And eastbound, it's bumper to bumper from the Des Plaines River Bridge to Gallagher Road. North on Tri-State. Stop and go 115th to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Northbound Veterans Memorial heavy approaching the Reagan Tollway and it's slow Butterfield to Roosevelt. Edens is 32 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 25. Kennedy, 50 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 26 from Montrose, 27 on the Express, outbound 40 to the airport. Eisenhower's an hour and 18 minutes, 390 to downtown, an hour and 2 minutes from Mannheim, outbound 39 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 4 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38 minutes. Ryan, 35 minutes, 95 to downtown. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
If you still haven't purchased the very best pillow, of course I'm talking about MyPillow, the 4-pack deal is back. So I strongly urge you to go online or call now to make sure you take advantage of this great deal. A great night's sleep is so important, so give yourself the gift of a great night's sleep by ordering a MyPillow. By using the promo code Amy, you'll get the absolute best deal available anywhere. The MyPillow 4-pack deal includes 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows at 50% off. I love that I can move the fill to get the support I need, regardless if I sleep on my back or side. I never wake up with a stiff neck or headache. And MyPillow is made in America, washable and dryable, hypoallergenic, and has a 10-year warranty plus a 60-day money-back guarantee. So get your 50% off the 4-pack in February by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit MyPillow.com. That's 800-489-0201, promo code Amy.
I'm living alone for the first time in 40 years, and I'm worried something might happen to me.
Live independently with Alarm Detection Systems. We offer medical alert devices with 24/7 emergency assistance monitoring. Setup is easy, and a live professional is waiting to assist you. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300. Alarm license number 127000143.
Our neighbor had thousands of dollars in flood damage and lost several items that are irreplaceable. Is there a security solution to receive early warning of an event like this?
Of course. Alarm Detection Systems has flood detection systems alerting you when water gathers in your home, giving you time to react. ADS is an authorized Honeywell equipment dealer. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300. Alarm license number 127000143.
If you're a homeowner in need of fast cash, listen closely to the next 60 seconds. If you need $30,000, $50,000, $75,000 or more to pay off high-interest credit card debt, do home improvements, college tuition, or any other reason, call the Fast Cash Hotline at 1-800-397-1886. The Fast Cash Hotline is brought to you by Lengenuity, the Internet's fastest-growing direct mortgage lender. Homeowners, you can now consolidate your monthly bills into one low monthly payment. Pay off high-interest credit cards, auto loans, student loans, home equity lines, or get cash out for any reason. Call the Fast Cash Hotline today at 1-800-397-1886. You'll hear your new low monthly payment in less than 60 seconds. You can save hundreds of dollars every month. Homeowners are invited to call now for a free rate and payment quote. Call the Fast Cash Hotline at 1-800-397-1886. That's 1-800-397-1886. ResMec is a licensed mortgage lender. NMLS 153098. For licensing information, visit nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Subject to credit approval. Not available in all states.
Did you know that studies have shown that we need over 10 servings of fruits and veggies every single day? If you're like me, it's hard to find the time and money to prepare and eat all of those fruits and vegetables. Who can do that? Yet we know that proper nutrition can prevent health problems, give us energy, and help us heal faster. Balance of Nature has spent over 20 years researching and delivering solutions to this problem. We can ensure that you consume over 30 different fruits and veggies every single day. Our capsules are filled with 100% real whole foods. There isn't a single thing added to Balance of Nature products. They're pure. We spent an incredible amount of time on the quality of our products. We do this for you. We do it for our own families. Give yourself a break and give your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Bob Aument, a founding partner of the law firm of Dassman and Aument and longtime personal customer of Signature Bank. Our firm recently left one of the larger banks to bank with Signature Bank, and it's been a refreshing change. With Signature Bank, we've been able to tailor banking solutions that fit the specific needs of our firm. Beyond that, Signature Bank is responsive, efficient, and timely in meeting those needs. If I have a request, I pick up the phone and talk to Mick O'Rourke, not someone at a phone bank thousands of miles away. Daspin and Aument needed more than what the larger banks offer, and we found that with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, we were talking about Vivica Fox calling on Disney to donate, 25% of Black Panther ticket sales to Black Lives Matter. Darren in Oak Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, how are you this morning?
Good.
You know, I think it was really irresponsible what you just did to malign the movie based on hearsay from Vivica Fox. She's not in the movie.
I didn't say she was in the movie. I didn't say she was in the movie. I said she's advocating.
No, you didn't say that. You didn't say that. But
Thank you.
What you did say is that people should think about that before they go see this movie. There is no proceeds going to Black Lives Matter from this movie.
Well, I'd like to hear I'd like to hear Disney reply to Vivica Fox and others' call for a portion of the proceeds to be donated before before the case is dispensed with. Wouldn't you like to, Darren, to make sure, just to be sure? Wouldn't you like to?
But Dan, okay, first of all, you already know that as big as Disney is, they can't respond to every crackpot,
Vivica Fox is a crackpot? How dare you? Vivica Fox is a crackpot?
Listen to me. I am not calling you a crackpot.
I'm saying you're saying Vivica Fox is a crackpot. Because I want them to respond to Vivica Fox and others who are calling for a portion of the proceeds to be donated.
Okay, let me just finish this thought.
All right.
They will not respond to every interviewer who asks a bad question or a baiting question. So basically, this is a story over nothing.
Vivica Fox is not responsible for her answer. She got baited into it. She seems very clear on the topic.
But in the grand scheme of things, what power does Vivica Fox have in order to do this?
Well, I don't know.
She's an accomplished actress.
She's not about with the movie at all.
So what? Do you think corporations? Do you pay attention? You think these corporations are not hypersensitive to political pressure, particularly political pressure of a racial nature? They fold all the time for people that have no association with their product or their service. You don't think Disney is sensitive to this if you have Hollywood stars like Vivica Fox and others calling for a portion of the proceeds to be donated? You don't think they're going to respond to her? Yeah, they will.
First of all, Vivica Fox is a B-C-list actress at that.
Oh, wow.
So
she was great in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I love her in Soul
Food. What I'm saying is for responsible reporting, you should report on this story when you have facts that Disney is going to send for proceeds to Black Lives Matter. But for you to put that rumor out and then tell people
not a rumor.
About it
before
they go see this.
All right, Darren, it's on change.org. She put a petition together on change.org to encourage Marvel and Disney to invest 25% of the movie's proceeds to go to Black Lives Matter.
There you go.
I mean, it's not a rumor. It's a fact.
The more we report, the worse it gets for you, Darren.
No, actually it isn't, because it is not a fact that Disney is going to.
I didn't say it was a fact. I didn't say it was a fact. I said it'll be interesting to see. I can't wait for Disney's response. That's what I said.
But you told people to think about that before they go see this so-called blockbuster.
Think about
and watch where their money is going. Their money is not going.
Think
there.
about what you don't know that, and neither do I. Think about what Disney.
Why say that it is?
Because I didn't say that it is. I said think about that. Let's see what Disney does. Think about that before you make your decision whether or not to patronize their movie. That's what I said, Darren. Thank you for the call and for the opportunity to explain it in more detail and round out the facts for you.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk profligate spending and Trump's budget with Steve Moore at 7:37.
But first, into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
We're watching a developing story this morning, Dan and Amy. 3 are hurt after a shooting near the NSA, the National Security Agency building in Fort Meade, Maryland. Several reports from the scene say the injuries right now do not appear to be life-threatening, and the shooter is in custody. Charges are pending after a Chicago police commander was shot and killed in the Thompson Center In the Loop, Commander Paul Bauer was gunned down yesterday, helping out with a tactical team, chasing down a man in a state government office building. The 53-year-old Bauer was pronounced dead later at Northwestern Memorial Hospital. Superintendent Eddie Johnson said Bauer had been on the force for 31 years. Mayor Rahm Emanuel, later on in the evening, shared his condolences.
We love him and love his courage on behalf of all of us, something he gave every day for 31 years. We're going to miss Paul.
Bauer, the first police officer killed since 2011, leaves behind a 13-year-old daughter. Chicago Tribune reporting the suspect is a 4-time felon with a lengthy arrest record who spent 16 years in prison for a 1998 robbery. Immigration reform remains on the agenda in Washington as lawmakers scramble to reach a deal. FBI Director Christopher Wray says he's seen no evidence of inherent political bias at the Bureau. At a Senate hearing yesterday, Wray praised the FBI's professionalism.
The background investigation process involves a fairly elaborate set of standards, guidelines, protocols, agreements, et cetera, that have been in place for 20-plus years.
President Trump has been a frequent critic of the FBI, saying the Bureau's reputation was, in his words, in tatters. One man is dead, 2 others hurt after a taxi cab was carjacked on Chicago's near North Side. Former Schaumburg police officer will no longer face charges of participating in a drug dealing operation, with 2 fellow officers, DuPage County prosecutors, dropping all charges against John Cicci yesterday. Illinois House Speaker Mike Madigan says he will not be forced to step down, even as there are more questions about how he, his campaign, and state Democrats handled a sexual harassment complaint last year. Chicago sports, Knights came to life with 4 goals in the third, and they beat the badly slumping Blackhawks 5-2. On the college hardwood, Rutgers beat Northwestern in OT. Our Northern Illinois Huskies fell to Central Michigan 80-72. The news, a service of Staples. Staples with low prices on the organizational solutions that your business needs to clear the clutter and focus on the job at hand this year, like banker's boxes, file folders, and storage bins. Less mess equals more success. Visit Staples.com for more. Staples, it's pro time. 7:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
If you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, and your dental health. Dennis Prager here. You hear a lot of people screaming at you about dental implants, get it done in a day, or we can treat everybody, or hundreds of thousands of implants. Well, successful implants don't come from an implant factory. What you don't hear talked about is skill, treatment, and installation. These are what make for successful lifelong implants, and that's why you need to see Dr. Naruzzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Naruzzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants. You need the experience, skill, and honesty that 24 years of dental implants bring. Everyone is different. Don't settle for mass-produced implants. Did you know that there is a difference in quality of the actual implant itself? Some are made to last, and some aren't.
This is Dr. Naruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics 630-632-7400, or just remember implantsforme.com.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
7:36. Let's get an update on your morning commute. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Seeing very heavy delays on I-80 westbound now from LaGrange Road all the way to Gallagher Road. The left lane remains blocked after a truck went into the median there. Eastbound at Stop and Go from the Des Plaines River Bridge to Gallagher. Tri-State northbound, it's jammed 115th to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. But Adams Tollway Stop and Go 25 to Beverly crashed the two left lanes. Veterans Memorial delays. Fountain most of the way to Roosevelt. The Army Trail toll to 290. Eden's 28 minutes. Lake Hook to the junction outbound 30. Kennedy now an hour and 3 minutes. O'Hare to downtown outbound 39 minutes. The Eisenhower's an hour and 27 minutes. 390 to the Circle outbound 46 minutes. Stevenson an hour 25. 355 to the Drive. Ryan 37 minutes. 95th to downtown. Traffic service of Staples. Staples has low prices on the organizational solutions your business needs. Clear the clutter and focus on the job at hand this year. Bankers boxes, file folders, and storage bins. Less mess equals more success. Visit Staples.com for more. Staples, it's pro time. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Clouds on the increase throughout the day, and heavy fog is still a problem in spots. Northwest Indiana, in Aurora, Joliet, Morris. High near 42. Cloudy fog overnight, low 38. Currently 29. Next news coming up at 8. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. White House Budget Director Mick Mulvaney says he wouldn't have voted for the Republican deal with the Democrats on a 2-year budget that lifts the sequestration spending caps. What saith our friend Steve Moore, who joins us now? Steve Moore, Wall Street Journal columnist, Heritage Foundation economist, CNN senior economist. Steve, what about that surrender by Republicans on spending caps?
Well, look, I wouldn't have voted for it either. By the way, that was an amazing bout of honesty by Mick Mulvaney to say that he wouldn't even vote for the budget that his colleagues in the Congress put forward. It was a disgrace. There's no sugarcoating this, Dan and Amy. Republicans railed against big deficit spending under Obama for 8 years, and then they take charge, and they're right at it again. And so it's disappointing. Now, Democrats are extremely hypocritical here, too. The Republicans wanted to spend more on the military. The Democrats wanted to spend more money on social programs. There was no way they could get a budget through without the votes from Chuck Schumer in the Senate. So both parties, the media is pointing the finger at the Republicans, as well they should, because they are in charge of the Congress. But it's also true that Nancy Pelosi and Charles Schumer were smiling all the way to the bank as well.
Well, what do you think of cuts in funding for SNAP? More so turning SNAP into a Blue Apron type of program where they send you boxes of food.
Well, first of all, let's not call it SNAP. It's food stamps. That's what the program is. It is a welfare program. We have tens of millions of people on food stamps still today, even though we've got a booming economy. I believe the single most important thing, Amy, for food stamps is that anybody who's on food stamps and is able-bodied should be required to prove, number one, they're a legal resident of the United States, right, that they're not here illegally, and number two, that if they're able-bodied, they have a job or they're looking for a job. And if they're not, they shouldn't get welfare. So we could cut the food stamp budget in half. We could cut the Medicaid budget by tens of billions of dollars if we just made sure that everybody was working. At this day and age, in the vast majority of the area of the country, there's no reason why somebody who's able-bodied can't find a job.
Trump met with state and local officials the other day to talk about his vision for infrastructure investment writ large, and he wants to sort of, at least the top line is he wants to devolve the spending authority to state and local authorities to fund the projects that they they prioritize. What's your review of his overall infrastructure spending plan?
I like it, actually. I mean, look, we as conservatives and constitutionalists believe in federalism, that as much of the spending that goes on in government should be at the state and local level, not Washington. I was just on CNN about 15 minutes ago, and I was asked the same question by Chris Cuomo, and I said, look, why should someone in Illinois or Maine or Minnesota or Georgia have to pay for the $50 billion absurd, high-speed rail system in California? And if it weren't for the federal government, putting all this money in that project, nobody in California would never build that white elephant. So, this is when you have the federal government paying for infrastructure projects, Dan, what you get is bridges to nowhere in Alaska and turtle crossings and all these absurd projects that get stuffed into these bills. No, I think he's exactly right. We need more of the responsibility at the state and local level, and we need more private sector investment. There's no question about it. I was in Florida this weekend. When you get on the highways, you just buy a Sun Pass, and when you use the highway, you pay a toll for it. I'm a big believer in the user pays principle.
Will user pay? I mean, was it based on mileage, or do you like just the tolls that are set up that are in place right now? And do you want more of them?
Well, that is a great question. I mean, this is the big transportation issue of the 21st century. And look, I mean, you raise a really good point, Amy. One of the things that worries me about a massive new federal infrastructure spending program is we're going to spend money on 20th century infrastructure, not 21st century infrastructure. So let me give you one example. We never have to build another subway or rail system in America again. In 10 years, everyone is going to have an automated car. You're going to just push a button on your phone. A car will come up to your driveway. You'll have an individual train that will essentially take you anywhere you want to go. So why would we build, these transit systems that in 20 years we're going to have to pull the rails right out of the ground? We should really be thinking about the future. And your question is a good one about how you pay for roads, because I think everyone agrees we should move towards a system where we move away from the gas tax more towards a tolling system. But then the question is, should a big heavy truck that puts enormous demands on the infrastructure, should that truck pay a lot more than a little Honda Civic that doesn't put a lot of stress on the road system? So you can. The great thing about a toll system, you can devise it in a way where the people who put the most in. By the way, you can also have something called congestion pricing. Right now, half the people listening to the show are they're stuck in traffic jams getting into Chicago. Well, look, if you had something like congestion pricing, then people who don't need to be on the roads at 7:30 or 8 in the morning wouldn't be, and the people who do would be, and you pay a little bit more if you're going to be on the roads at 7 in the morning, but you're going to pay a lot less if you're on the roads at 9 o'clock at night. I mean, Dan, do you disagree with that?
No, I'm all for user fees if you kind of strip away some of the other layers of taxation that are.
That's right.
Right. I mean, this is always the game, and so we just want a user fee system for this. But you've been taxing me over here ostensibly to cover it, so now you're just really laying on another tax.
Yeah, and Dan, that's a great point, and I bet a lot of people are saying, that idiot Steve Moore, he just wants to give more money to the government because we're going to pay a gas tax and we're going to pay a toll. We're going to pay twice for the roads.
And here
that's not what I'm suggesting. I'm suggesting maybe we repeal the gas tax and find a better way to. By the way, the other thing is, in 10 or 15 years, maybe 30% of the people are going to be driving electric cars. They're not even going to be using gasoline, so the gas tax doesn't tax them.
Yeah, well, and this is one of the arguments that's made for increasing the gas tax, which is already double taxed in Illinois, of course, why Chicago routinely has the highest gas prices in the nation, because we have taxes upon taxes where you have the gas tax applied, you have a sales tax on the gas tax. I mean, it's just it's absurd.
Ridiculous. And you have some of the worst roads. And
of course we do.
And the worst roads.
Of course we do. It's Illinois.
By the way, you need those roads so people can leave Illinois and go to Kentucky and West Virginia, right?
Precisely. With the infrastructure plan that he's outlined broadly, plus the effort to get a deal on DACA with border security, are these the right priorities for the president in terms of economic growth coming out into the new year?
Well, first of all, I just have to say this, that, Paul Krugman has a column. Paul Krugman of the New York Times, the left wing, he's the sage of the left. He has a piece in the New York Times this morning. I know it because they read it on CNN, just trashing the Republican Trump plan. So it must be a pretty good plan, right? But look, I think that right now what we need, and that's why I'm not that exercised about this budget. Look, the economy is about to take off. I mean, Larry Kudlow put it very well yesterday on CNBC. We are at the beginning stages of the biggest investment boom this country has seen in 30 years. All we need right now, Dan and Amy, is just get the government the hell out of the way. I'm serious. Just, have Congress take a recess, go home, don't do anything. Let the private sector do its thing. We're going to get 4 to 5% growth in the first quarter. We're going to get, for the whole year of 2018, I'm predicting 4% growth. When everything's going right, you just want the government out of the way.
All right. Don't just do
Is
something.
that so
stand
hard,
there.
by the way?
Don't just do something. Stand there. Yeah.
Get
right.
out of the way.
Yeah.
A DACA, I mean, of course, we have this March 5th deadline that could be moved but won't be moved. And McConnell and Schumer right now, they're clashing over on how to punish sanctuary cities. What are your thoughts? What should the punishment be besides the time?
Your whole state is a sanctuary state, right?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
What should our
Congratulations.
punishment be?
Thank you.
Look, my view, by the way, let me ask you this one, Amy.
Yes.
Do you think that the DACA children should have a path to citizenship?
Yes, I do. If they have not committed a crime and they're good citizens, yes, they should be able to have a path to citizenship.
I'm going to disagree with you a little bit about that one, and Dan, you'll be the tie-breaking vote this morning. I'm in favor of a legalization program, where they get to stay in the country. We're not going to deport people unless, as you say, they're criminal or they're on welfare programs. But I'm not in favor of rewarding people with citizenship who came in illegally, even if it's their parents who brought them in. Okay, Dan, you break the tie.
I'm open-minded on the topic of citizenship versus permanent status if we can get an end to the diversity visa lottery and move toward more merit-based.
Okay. I guess I could live with that, But we need more immigrants. I mean, that's the other big thing. This idea that we should be reducing legal immigration is stupid. I mean, this economy is going to be booming. We need the workers. We need the people who are talented and skilled. And I'm in favor of getting rid of the illegal immigration, being tough on that. But I also think we should be increasing. And I'll give you one last thought for you all to chew over, as we exit this segment. Why not, if we're going to have a system where we're going to have some kind of lottery, why not put up the visas for auction?
Yeah.
And raise some money.
Absolutely.
Go to the highest bidder.
Find the market clearing price.
That's a Milton Friedman idea.
Absolutely. This is what I always wanted to do with state jobs. Bid them out like we do contracts. Yeah, you get a market clearing salary for state jobs. So Steve, I mean, between me, you, and Amy, if we were the leaders in Congress, we'd have this thing done in 10 minutes.
I know exactly. It wasn't that hard.
Yeah. All right.
And they wouldn't even have to pay us $160,000 a year.
Exactly.
Good talk.
He is Steve Moore, Wall Street Journal columnist, Heritage Foundation economist, CNN senior economist. Steve, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Have a great week, guys.
You too.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Oh, that's strange. Today, we are going to have sunshine, as you can see right now, but some clouds creeping in here throughout the day. Warm, a high of 42 degrees. Then areas of fog tonight, and tomorrow morning you'll be greeted with morning fog, then periods of rain in the afternoon, a high of 42 degrees. Let's get into our alarm detection system traffic center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Amy and Dan, the inbound Kennedy has big delays from Nagel to the Burns Circle. It's an hour and 3 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 38 minutes from Montrose, 32 in the Express. Outbound 17 minutes to Montrose, 39 at the airport. Eden's 28 minutes, Lake Cook Junction, outbound 30. The Eisenhower's an hour and 27 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 46 minutes. Stevenson an hour 25, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 42 minutes. Big roadwork delays on southbound 55, Arsenal past Blodgett. Ryan, 37 minutes, 95th to the Loop, I-57, 30 minutes, I-80 to the Merge Bishop Ford, 48. Tri-State delays are northbound 115th to the Hinsdale Oasis, from Reagan Tollway to North Avenue, Adams Tollway from the Fox River to Beverly, with crash in the two left lanes, then lead to the Tri-State. Jim Telemonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Looking to secure financing on a new home? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Stephanie, account manager, contacted her credit union to get pre-qualified for a mortgage. Bad move. The credit union's alleged mortgage expert informed Stephanie she couldn't purchase a home without a cosigner. Wrong. Stephanie's grandfather would cosign, but she wanted to do it herself. After hearing hundreds of our ads, Stephanie called for a free consultation. An experienced Team Hochberg mortgage professional answered Stephanie's questions and helped her secure a mortgage without a cosigner. Let's review. The inexperienced mortgage professional at Stephanie's credit union stated she needed a cosigner to purchase a home, and Team Hochberg secured her a mortgage without a cosigner. When securing a mortgage, you could either get terrible advice at your credit union, or you could call Team Hochberg at 312-751-1333. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage and Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
Starting Balance of Nature, I felt that the first month I felt different. It made such a difference that now I wake up, my head feels clearer, I have more energy. Very rarely does my body cramp up anymore. It's the best thing. It's just amazing. I don't know what to say. I just would not be what I am today if I didn't start Balance of Nature.
I plan on taking this the rest of my life because until I started taking your stuff, I never took as many fruits and vegetables in a day as I get through you guys. You know, I'm very, very, very satisfied.
My pain and it went away. I swear to you that that's the truth.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. Elizabeth Warren was born a poor Native American child. That's the Horatio Alger story she spun when confronted by a Boston radio talk show host about her hypocrisy of railing against the 1% while being a Grey Poupon-carrying member of it. Warren refused to concede she was a 1%er, instead recounting how her daddy was a janitor and her mom worked a minimum wage job. But they provided for their Indian princess. Warren worked her way through school, became an academic while also consulting for big insurance companies and big banks, and amassed a multi-million-dollar net worth. Warren tells her story in 3 dimensions. The rest of the 1% she shamelessly demagogues as one-dimensional Mr. Potter cartoons. Warren is a 1%er who overcame her humble beginnings. Everyone else is a robber baron, except for the champagne socialist fellow travelers in the Harvard faculty lounge, of course. Warren is not a public servant. The businesses she seeks to plunder are. Warren builds stylized political narratives. The entrepreneur built this country. She can't tell the truth about herself because Warren's politics are predicated on a lie. Not one she's lived, but one she wants to impose on you. Elizabeth Warren didn't build that, and neither can you.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Daryl has hired with Indeed.
Nothing has been this simple, this easy, and this effective.
Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, Esther, Liberty Mutual just saved me $782 on insurance.
Liberty did what?
I know. It's a lot of money, right?
What'd you say?
Liberty Mutual saved me $782.
Visit us online to get a quote.
What?
I said, visit us online to get a quote, and you can save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
Are you still talking?
I want to tell you about a product that I've been using for the past 3 months, and I love it, and you should know about it. It's called Calitrin, and here's the thing. I started using it to lose a few pounds after the holidays, and I've seen that work for me. But there are so many other amazing side benefits. I'm sleeping better, I've got more energy, and my joint pain has almost completely disappeared. And here with me now is Elizabeth from Calitrin with an amazing offer.
Good morning. Yes, thank you so much for having me. Yes, Calitrin truly is a health supplement that you can feel good while you're taking it. And of course, you're going to see the pounds and the inches come off, but you're also going to have more energy and sleep better. And like you said, a decrease in joint pain because you're giving your body back what it needs. Just go to the website toploss.com. That's TOPLOSS.com LOSS.com. You can check it out for yourself. And when you get ready to order today, you can use promo code Amy, and it's going to save you 10% on your order. That's toploss.com.
Thanks, Elizabeth. And remember, swimsuit season is just around the corner. Go to toploss.com. That's toploss.com.
If you're aged 59 and a half or older with the 401k plan and still working, stop what you're doing and call Arlington Capital Management at 855-471-5796. They'll help you actively manage your 401k, show you strategies to avoid major declines, and capitalize on opportunities. There are benefits with age, and this is one of them. At 59 and a half, you're entitled to new opportunities in the investment world that can dramatically improve your results and even lower your fees. Call 855-471-5796 now and take the first step toward getting more out of your retirement assets. The team at Arlington Capital Management proactively explores the market, our economy, and all of the variables that offset your investments. Call 855-471-5796 now for a complimentary consultation. That's 855-471-5796 or visit arlington-capital.com. You worked hard to accumulate your nest egg. Now, it's time to put your money to work for you.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
AM 560, The Answer.
So the list is out. Top 10 worst colleges in the country for free speech, according to the Foundation for Individual Rights in Education. And on the list, Evergreen State, Berkeley, Harvard, Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois, where even the feminists get silenced. Of course, they reference the case of Laura Kipnis, who was subject to an Title IX inquisition that extended over several months with respect to how she characterized Title IX abuses. So Laura Kipnis, who's a left-wing feminist professor at Northwestern, writes an essay critical of Title IX abuses, and then everything breaks loose on campus with the feminists suggesting they've been scarred by her commentary. And this leads to, a Star Chamber proceeding. That's one of many, many accomplishments in the realm of squelching free speech.
I'm sure Iowa's not on that list.
Iowa not on the list. Congratulations. Also want to make mention, because another Chicago school, Lifetime Censorship Achievement Award goes to DePaul University, one of those Catholic schools that hates Catholicism, for among other things, silencing conservative speakers, imposing usurious security costs on campus groups who want to bring conservative speakers who don't hew to the orthodoxy of the left-wingers on campus, and all kinds of other infringements on free expression and academic freedom on campus, whether the students or the professors. So congratulations to DePaul and Northwestern. Don't send your kids there.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, the latest on the fatal shooting of Commander Bauer. And Jed Babin joins us at 8:08. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Speaker Madigan refuses to step down amid harassment questions. WIND Chicago News Time 8.
Shots fired outside Fort Meade in Maryland. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, but the threat
is said to be over. A suspect handcuffed near an SUV at the gates. Fox's Rachel Sutherland monitoring it all live from Washington.
Dave, at least one person was reportedly shot near the National Security Agency headquarters at Fort Meade in suburban Baltimore. The victim is said to be alive. The shooter has been subdued. NSA police and local law enforcement telling Fox News the incident happened this morning at one of the NSA's secure vehicle entry gates. Officials say the situation is under control and there's no ongoing security or safety threat. The president has been briefed on the shooting. Dave.
Rachel, in Chicago, police now say the commander, shot and killed confronting an armed suspect yesterday, was on duty at the time, not off as initially.
You can take Elizabeth whenever you're ready.
Is she there? Hey, Elizabeth, can you hear me? Elizabeth, can you hear me? I don't see her on the line. Hello, hello. Hey, Elizabeth, can you hear me? Hi, Elizabeth. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for joining us again. Hold on one second. Let me
Yes,
get my
ma'am.
copy ready. Struggling with weight loss and maybe have some joint mobility pain. Now, let me try that again. Struggling with weight loss or possibly have joint pain? Well, I have something for you. It is called Calitrin, and the main ingredient is a collagen protein, which helps reduce joint pain, increases mobility. I take mine at night in a liquid form. It helps me fall asleep, and I wake up feeling rejuvenated and refreshed. And now with more on Calitrin, here's Elizabeth.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. You know, I've actually lost 40 pounds with it myself. My husband's lost 15. He also takes it he's got an old knee injury, and he claims he's a runner. But I'm telling you, it is a supplement that is awesome. It really is more than just a weight loss supplement. It's a health supplement. So you're going to feel good while you're taking it. There's no drugs and no stimulants in it. I think people are used to stimulant weight loss products, but it's not that type of product. You actually take it at bedtime and you let it do the work. And if you want to go to our website, toploss.com, TOPLOSS.com, you can read up on the science behind how it works, and you can check out all of our specials. Also, if you want to use promo code Amy today, you're going to save 10% on your order. Again, that's toploss.com.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Ugh.
Thanks, Amy.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Thanks, you too.
Beat from the Fox Business Network, a service of Turnkey.pro. Here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, Facebook is a stock to follow today. Analyst Rob Sanderson at MKM Partners says Facebook is set up for an excellent 2018. More people are staying at Hilton's. Hilton Worldwide is reporting a better than expected quarter. Hilton says it added more than 18,000 rooms in the quarter. Hotel chain Wyndham Worldwide is also reporting a stronger quarter, and Wyndham is raising its dividend. Fossil is a stock to follow today after its earnings were stronger than expected. Fossil has a new line of hybrid smartwatches that look like a watch, act like a smartwatch. KeyBank says it thinks Fossil is finally making progress in its transformation. Wearables, watch devices, now account for 20% of Fossil's business. The Dow was up 39 yesterday, the Nasdaq added 31, and the S&P was up almost 7. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
8:05, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Our nation is deeply divided. Gone are the days when civil discourse bridged the gap between the two sides. If we'll ever find common ground, we must get beyond the talking points. AM 560, The Answer, is bringing together two of America's sharpest political minds from opposite sides of the aisle to do just that. It's Beyond the Talking Points with Dan Proft and Donna Brazil on Thursday, March 22nd. Proft and Brazil will go head-to-head, tackling the big issues facing our nation. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/beyond.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
When hiring, you don't have time to waste. You need to get to a short list of qualified candidates fast. That's why you need Indeed.com. Daryl is hired with Indeed.
Using the site saves me a lot of time. It makes my job so much easier.
Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive dashboard. Your time is precious. Let Indeed help you get to your short list of qualified candidates. Post a job at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
What happened? You used to go hours without visiting the bathroom. Now it seems like you're constantly getting up to pee. Listen, the makers of Super Beta Prostate are introducing a new wonder pill, Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced, with 3 key ingredients that are great for your prostate. To celebrate, your first 30-day supply is free. Pay shipping and handling. Get P3 Advanced free. Call 1-800-257-5251. 1-800-257-5251. 1-800-257-5251.
8:06. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Travel times are high on the Kennedy inbound. Delays are from Foster to the Bird Circle. It is an hour and 15 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 55 minutes from Montrose, 48 in the Express. Outbound 16 minutes to Montrose, 39 at the airport. Edens, 22 minutes. Lake Hook to the junction. Outbound 31. The Eisenhower, an hour and 40 minutes. 390 to downtown. An hour and 24 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 49 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 42 minutes. Those big roadwork delays farther south, Arsenal to Blodgett. Bryant, 40 minutes, 95th to downtown. 557, 26 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop Ford, 48. Delays on the Tri-State northbound, 115th to the Hinsdale Oasis, and then from the Reagan Tollway to the Adams Tollway. It's about Adams Tollway tied up. The Elgin Toll to Beverly, lead to the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway slow from the Aurora Toll to Mill. Veterans Memorial out into the Reagan Tollway. The Army Trail Toll to 290. Westbound I-80. Stop and go LaGrange Road to Gallagher where a crash finally cleared. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. It comes from meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Sunny, then becoming cloudy today with patchy drizzle. High 42. Mostly cloudy with areas of late night fog tonight. A low of 38. Patchy morning fog with periods of rain in the afternoon tomorrow. High 42. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
It is 29 with sunshine at O'Hare. Next news at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth. Tune in Saturday afternoons at 2 for Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and we're going to continue to keep you updated as details emerge related to the shooting death, the murder of 31-year veteran Chicago Police Commander Paul Bauer yesterday afternoon outside the Thompson Center.
And we're learning that the 44-year-old gunman, African-American, has had several run-ins with the law, 4 felony charges against him for gun possession, armed robbery, drug possession. And the text messages from his coworkers keep coming in. Here's from an officer who worked with him because he was, again, the commander of the 18th District. All I could do yesterday was think that he's never going to get another opportunity to see his 13-year-old daughter ever play another game, and his daughter will never again get to have her dad there to cheer her on. It's heartbreaking. The war on police has got to stop. We are not the enemy. I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but we need to stay on this story.
Yeah, and also obviously motive, because you had this individual reportedly wearing a bulletproof vest when he opened fire. Commander Bauer responds to the call of an active shooter, and he gets in a shootout with the assailant, and he's killed in that shootout. So, if you're wearing a bulletproof vest, but in addition to the contextual factor that he was a 4-time felon, probably went out that day intending to do bad things, and so that those blanks have yet to be filled in, but we'll relay them when they are.
And if his name is released because he has not been charged, we will let you know.
Right. All right. Moving on to some international matters, not just the Winter Olympics, but also this story yesterday. Bibi Netanyahu, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, is in the political fight of his life, it would seem to me, after police announced yesterday that they had found enough evidence to recommend the state's prosecution to indict Netanyahu for bribery and breach of trust in this kind of long-running investigation into gifts that were provided to the Netanyahus. The allegation is that Netanyahu improperly accepted expensive gifts from different businessmen. For more on this topic and the implications were Bibi to be deposed, we're pleased to be joined by our friend Jed Babin, former United States Deputy Undersecretary of Defense and a columnist for the Washington Times and the American Spectator. Jed, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hi, guys. Glad to be here.
So what about the news about Netanyahu potentially facing criminal charges here?
Well, it's very serious, but we don't know how it's going to play out. I mean, apparently one of the chief accusers, if not the chief accuser, against Mr. Netanyahu is his principal political opponent. So this may be another, Bob Mueller kind of situation where things may be a lot less than they seem, but we just don't know. I mean, as far as I know, the accusation goes against Netanyahu for receiving gifts of cigars and jewelry for his wife, and those things can be serious, but we just don't know at this point.
If
I think at this stage, Netanyahu is still solid, and I don't know of anybody in Israeli politics who has the stature that he has and the strength that he has to be able to be an effective ally for us.
That's kind of leads into the follow-up question, which is just playing worst-case scenario for Netanyahu. He is deposed. He has to step down from office because of this potential prosecution if it materializes. And what would that mean for our interests and stability in the Middle East?
Well, it certainly wouldn't be good. Whether or not he's a perfect person is not the issue. Netanyahu has the reputation, the strength, the position to be an enormously effective ally, as he has been for about the past 10 years. The question really comes down to who could replace him, and I don't see anybody in Israeli politics. I mean, I'm not certainly an expert on all of the people there, but you look at his principal opponent, this guy Lapid, but also one of the most bitter opponents is Ehud Barak, a former Prime Minister of Israel, himself a warrior, but much more liberal and much more, I think, interested in compromise than Netanyahu has been. And I think that would be a very great weakness for Israel and, quite frankly, for us.
You recently wrote a fascinating article in the American Spectator where you said anyone who signed off on warrants from FISA under false pretenses had better find him or herself a lawyer.
Well, yeah, the drama, the melodrama continues through this whole mess of the FISA court applications. The Nunes memo, the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence Chairman Nunes issued that memo, cleared it with the White House about 2 weeks ago. That made it very clear that what was presented to the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act court, the FISA court, was not correct, and that the people who swore to that, frankly, let's take a quick step back. When anyone presents an application for a search warrant, whether it's to the FISA court for a surveillance warrant or a regular U.S. district court to get a search warrant of another type, you're basically going to have the sworn affidavits of FBI agents or lawyers to show that they have probable cause to issue the warrant, that the court should issue the warrant. So when they went to the FISA court, they apparently told the FISA court things that were based on this Steele dossier against Trump without telling the court that these things were, frankly, the product of the Hillary Clinton campaign and the Democratic National Committee. That's an enormous failure on their part. And, quite frankly, they did not verify the information before they presented it to the court. So how can you swear in an affidavit under penalty of perjury to something that you don't know is true? And that seems to be exactly what happened here. So anybody who signed off on those warrants, and that comes down to not just the rank and file FBI agents, but it goes all the way up to Jay Comey and the Deputy Attorney General. Those people signed off on the warrants as well, because it goes through a process of, you go from the FBI agents to the FBI director to the senior people with the Department of Justice, and all of that has to happen before you present it to the court. So all of these people who signed off on these warrants didn't do their job and took it for granted that what Christopher Steele had in his so-called dossier was the truth. So that's a huge failing, and I think the court, quite frankly, would be enormously justified in being really, really, really angry about this.
Is the public justified in suggesting that not only should a revised Schiff memo be released for public scrutiny, but also, as the Wall Street Journal opined this week, the documents related to the application for the search warrant to the FISA court, all of that should be released, redacted as needed as well?
Oh, absolutely. I think the more that's released on this, I think the better we're going to be. I think we're going to be able to see more of what was told to the FISA court. We should be able to see more of whatever the Democrats say to try to counter what the Nunes memo says. I mean, get it all out. I think this is one of those things where, there may be some tidbits in there in the Democrats memo that have to be redacted. There may be some things, I'm sure there are quite a few things that have to be redacted from the FISA warrant applications because those are top secret. And I think, get them out. I mean, redact them if you need to, but get them out. That's the best thing we can do. The public needs to know about this. We need to know if there's, as there appears to be, an enormous crisis in the FBI and the Justice Department.
Eli Lake, writing over at Bloomberg this week, reminds us about Carter Page, who's been, alternatively vilified as some kind of Russian super agent and or just a dope, frankly. And he suggests that we should care about what happened to Carter Page. His reputation has been ruined, not by a conviction, not by any charges, but by a warrant that was supposed to be secret. Does he have a point about that?
Yes, he does. But I think that's a small point in the whole atmosphere, the whole milieu of this mess. I mean, the big points are, Mr. Page deserves, if he does deserve to have his reputation returned, then, it needs to be done somehow. I don't know how you can do that. But the real problem here is there is a crisis within the FBI. I'm informed Joe DeGeneva, who is a former U.S. attorney, said on a local radio station here yesterday or the day before that there are some 24 different investigations going on into the conduct of the FBI itself. Some of these are criminal investigations. The Inspector General of the Department of Justice, Michael Horowitz, is reviewing all of this stuff going back to the Clinton email scandal. And all of these things are going to be acted upon at some point. The sooner the Inspector General gets his report out, the sooner I think we can be able to resolve this whole mess. I expect that there will be prosecutions resulting from what the Inspector General says.
So when Christopher Wray said yesterday that no evidence that he sees that the FBI is politicized, he's just doing his duty to put up a brave face before the Senate Intel Committee?
Yeah, nothing more than that. And quite frankly, he ought to know better than to say that. What's going on in the FBI right now, what has gone on for apparently 2 years at least, Mr. Wray ought to be a whole lot more savvy and be willing to accept what the Inspector General says and the Inspector General finds. That's one of the things that's very troubling about what he said in front of the Senate committee yesterday. And he testified in open session with all the other leaders of the intelligence community on the basic year in review kind of thing. But what he said and what you're talking about, that there is no confidence, there's no problem in the FBI. I mean, if he were going to take that position at this point, it means to me that he is not going to take the IG report seriously And quite frankly, that if I were president and he did not take that report seriously and investigate it, and if necessary, prosecute people, I'd fire him. I'd fire him really fast.
Wow. We're now in day 8, and the White House still can't get their story straight about Rob Porter. What do you think should happen to John Kelly, Hope Hicks? Your thoughts about this whole debacle?
I really don't have many, Amy. The whole thing, I don't know. People have had their guns out for Kelly since he got there. If he's lost confidence in the president can fire him. I don't know the details of this Rob Porter and this other guy who's accused of spousal abuse. Look, spousal abuse is an unpardonable sin, an unpardonable crime, and the guy should have been fired maybe more quickly. I don't know what Kelly did or didn't do, and frankly, I'm a lot more concerned about a lot more important things at this point.
He is Jed Babin, former U.S. Deputy Undersecretary of Defense, a contributor to both the Washington Times and the American Spectator. Jed, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Yeah, I don't have time for that chick question. Yeah, I know how he rolls. All right. We'll get our answers sometime. Today, we're going to have sunshine.
Sean Connery's got an answer.
Sean Connery does have an answer about spousal abuse. Yeah. Increasing clouds as the day progresses, a high of 42 degrees. Tonight, some fog. And tomorrow morning in the morning, we're going to have areas of fog. Then rain by the afternoon. A high again in the mid to low 40s. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. That fog is... What's that?
Well, happy Valentine's Day.
Well, and likewise, Amy. I know it's one of your favorites. Kidding. I-80 westbound still heavy through the fog from Wolf Road to Gauger. There was a crash that took a long time to clear. It's out of the way, but there are still residual delays. The eastbound side is cleared up nicely. Edens is 22 minutes. Lake Hook to Montrose, outbound 31. Kennedy, an hour and 15 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 55 minutes from Montrose. 48 in the Express. Outbound 39 to the airport. The Ike's brutal. An hour and 40 minutes. 390 to downtown. An hour and 24 from Manheim. Outbound 49 minutes. 390. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 42 minutes. Ryan is 40 minutes. 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, 48 minutes. 8094 to the merge. Lakeshore Drive has southbound delays. Bryn Mawr to North Avenue. Northbound from the Stevenson to Jackson. Tollway still heavy too. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-210-6779. 800-210-6779. Don't wait. Call now. 800-210-6779. 800-210-6779.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I was always just sort of feeling tired. And so I said, maybe this will just help in overall vitality. But in the past couple of years that I've been taking it, I find my energy has been great. I've been sleeping better. I don't get the cravings for junk food as often as I used to. I really attribute it to the product. It's so easy to use. Even if I want to take a capsule for my daughter and I just pull it apart to mix it in some juice or something, it's just something I'm very grateful to be able to incorporate. I really love the product. I think it's made such a difference.
Generally feel better, generally have better energy and more stamina. Breathing is easier, walking is easier. You're not in pain anymore, all right? I could go on and on.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of your #1 home mortgage lender, Townstone Financial. I continue to get calls and emails from homeowners whose interest rates are above 4%. Please do yourself a favor. Take 1 minute. Dial 312-896-2111 or go to townstone.com and let us give you some no closing cost refinance options today. No closing costs means no hidden costs. I guarantee it, and I own the company. Remember, you don't have to restart your mortgage at 30 years or 15. We can customize the payback period. Also, if your home is worth less than what you owe, we still have the Government HARP program, which will allow you to refinance and save money. And anyone who has an FHA mortgage or one with private mortgage insurance definitely needs to call me now so we can lower your monthly mortgage payments due to the recent increase in home values. The call is free and so is my time, so dial 312-896-2111. That's 312-896-2111 or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com. Townstone Financial is an Illinois mortgage licensee 6629 and MLS 136639, equal housing lender.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Daryl has hired with Indeed.
Nothing has been this simple, this easy, and this effective.
Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, Esther, Liberty Mutual just saved me $782 on insurance.
Liberty did what?
I know. It's a lot of money, right?
What'd you say?
Liberty Mutual saved me $782.
Visit us online to get a quote.
What?
I said, visit us online to get a quote, and you can save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
Are you still talking?
Get ready. It's Auto Show Month. And to celebrate, you're going to see some of the best deals of the new year at Joe Cotton Ford. Joe Cotton Ford will get your engines revving with the largest selection of quality American-made Ford vehicles, including SUVs and trucks with all the features you want and need to navigate the snow and ice this Chicago winter. Ready for a different auto buying experience? At Joe Cotton Ford, you won't get the cold shoulder from a sales guy trying to hit a sales quota. What you will get is the white glove treatment without all the hype and pressure. And don't forget, every vehicle purchased comes with the Joe Cotton Advantage that goes above and beyond what the manufacturer offers. It'll help you save on maintenance, vehicle protection, and more. Be sure to ask about the Joe Cotton Advantage program when you come in. Get to Joe Cotton Ford and celebrate Auto Show Month with a new Ford car, truck, or SUV today. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com. joecottonford.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy and, Jeannie Ives, Madigan's favorite Republican, listen to Ronner's commercials.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just so absurd. It's hysterical stuff, but that's all Ronner's got. But anyway, Jeannie Ives called for Mike Madigan to step down as Speaker yesterday, much like Ira Silverstein had to step down from leadership in the Senate after he was accused of sexual harassment and ultimately was found to have been in violation of the ethics law. Mike Madigan under fire for the sexual harassment allegations against his top field general, Kevin Quinn, the brother of Chicago Alderman Marty Quinn. And he's got an accuser, does Kevin Quinn, naming names, and she's also naming Mike Madigan.
Yeah, because she wrote Mike Madigan a letter and sent it to his house outlining these harassing text messages that Kevin sent to her, pressuring her to go out with him, to go out for drinks. She's tried many times to get it to stop, and she feels as if there was a cover-up, that they're protecting Kevin instead of her.
Telling you about Kevin was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I know you didn't choose for this to happen, but you made the choice to protect Kevin instead of me.
And that was a direct message to Mike Madigan.
The Speaker has had the letter for 3 months. It doesn't take 3 months to read those text messages and know that behavior was inappropriate. It would take all of 20 minutes to know that was sexual harassment.
Well, Mike Madigan said he's not going to be stepping down or resigning.
Oh, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. And he has cut his long 20-year relationship with Kevin Quinn.
Yeah.
But he could have done more earlier, and he didn't do it.
The fact that he took the step of parting company with Kevin Quinn. That's a major step. He knew he had exposure and he couldn't control it any longer. It's interesting, too. This is consistent with the whole kind of bipartisan cover each other's backside that goes on in Springfield. We had a legislative inspector general post that was not filled for 3 years, 24 complaints against state legislators that sat uninvestigated, unanswered until this came to light thanks to Denise Rothheimer going public against Senator Ira Silverstein. We've had her on the show. And other women have signed letters, but they haven't made specific accusations. Rothheimer has, and now Ms. Hampton has against Kevin Quinn, and by extension against Mike Madigan.
And it was so
but this is the culture of sexual harassment in Springfield that's perpetuated by the leadership of both parties that protect one another. And this is more of an example of what you see that is actually going on there. And hopefully there will be an additional reckoning for bad actors. And there are many in Springfield.
And real quick, I mean, it was so goofy. Mike Madigan, his response was he sat next to his attorney as she read a statement yesterday in Springfield. It was just uncomfortable and stupid, and it was just words. You're saying, well, we've parted ways with him, so we've done our due diligence. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk to Noah Rothman about the D.C. press corps' ongoing love affair with the propaganda minister from North Korea at 8:38.
And later, how single men will be spending Valentine's Day, a Dan Proft special. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
30 degrees. The National Security Agency says right now everything is under control. There are no immediate threats following a shooting in front of the NSA building in Fort Meade, Maryland. Reports say 3 are hurt, including a police officer, and the shooter is in custody. Charges pending after a Chicago police commander was shot and killed in the Thompson Center downtown in the Loop yesterday. Commander Paul Bauer gunned down while assisting a tactical team of Chicago police chasing a man inside the state government office building. 53-year-old Bauer was pronounced dead at Northwestern Memorial Hospital. Superintendent Eddie Johnson.
Now I just ask citizens of this city to keep the Bauer family in their prayers.
Bauer is the first police officer killed in the line of duty since 2011. Chicago Tribune says the suspect is a 4-time felon. At least 2 are dead, 3 others hurt following a volley of gunfire in New Orleans' lower 9th Ward as parties were breaking up after Mardi Gras. 1 climber is dead, falling 700 feet on Oregon's Mount Hood. Others had to be rescued. 1 man is dead, 2 others hurt after a taxi cab was carjacked on Chicago's near North Side last night in the 200 block of West Walton. Former Schaumburg police officer no longer facing charges of participating in a drug-dealing operation with 2 fellow officers. DuPage County prosecutors dropped all charges against John Seachy yesterday because of a lack of admissible evidence. Chicago sports. Knights came to life with 4 goals in the third. Las Vegas 5-2 winners over the Blackhawks. On the college hardwood last night, Rutgers took down Northwestern 67-58 in OT, while our Northern Illinois Huskies fell to Central Michigan 80-72. The news, a service of Staples. Let Staples help you this tax season with everything you need for less. From storage boxes and filing supplies to software like QuickBooks and TurboTax. And right now, get up to $15 off when you buy TurboTax. Ends 2/17/18, excludes TurboTax Basic. Staples, it's pro time. 8:33, we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher wants the media to stop overreacting.
We dropped 1,100 points. That's 4.6%. The 4.6% happens about 3 times a year. It had nothing to do with Donald Trump. It has to do with interest rates likely rising because the economy is doing so well. It has to do with a normal, inevitable course correction, but yet the media never wants to miss a chance to show him up.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Outsmart the flu. The Exergen temporal scanner is the #1 thermometer preferred by pediatricians. Smart technology backed by over 70 clinical studies. Protect your family. Rely on Exergen.com.
Good morning. Where are you? Are you at home currently trying to get all 3 kids ready for school? Are you in the car on your way to work, stuck in traffic and dreaming of being on an island vacation? Are you at the gym trying not to make awkward eye contact with that person you kinda sorta know? Wherever you are, Calitrin will fit into your daily routine and help you achieve your weight loss goals.
My name is Jessica. I'm from the state of Texas. I lost 50 pounds, and I take it every night to help me sleep, and I feel I'm better rested in the morning after I've taken it.
This is Richard, and I was on Calitrin, and I lost right at 23 pounds and dropped one of my blood pressure medicines, so I think it's a great product.
Hi, my name is Jenny, and I have lost a total of 29 pounds. Calitrin is the only weight loss product that has worked for me.
Calitrin, the #1 choice for healthy weight loss for over 20 years.
Calitrin. Visit us at toploss.com or call 1-800-325-4366 to learn about exclusive offers.
It is 8:35 and a check of your morning commute. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Northbound Tri-State delays are heavy between Cicero Avenue and 31st Street, and then from the Reagan Tollway up to the Adams Tollway. It's about Adams Tollway stop and go from the Elgin Toll to Beverly Road after a crash. Reagan Tollway, heavy Farnsworth to Eola and 53 to Highland. Veterans Memorial, northbound, it's stop and go Boughton to the Reagan Tollway. The Army Trail Toll to 290. Southbound heavy, and Army Trail Toll to Roosevelt. Edens is 22 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 32. Kennedy, an hour and 14 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 54 minutes from Montrose, 45 on the Express. Outbound 33 to the airport. Eisenhower, it's improved, but still an hour and a half from 390 to downtown. An hour 10 from Manheim. Outbound 43 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 15 minutes, 355 to the drive. Outbound 38 minutes. Ryan, 42 minutes, 95th to downtown. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Clouds on the increase. Will start sunny. They'll thicken up midday, and we should have heavy clouds by the afternoon. A high of 42. Cloudy. Fog overnight. Low 38. Currently 29 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Empowered Investing, the show dedicated to investors. Heard Saturdays at noon right here on AM 560, The Answer.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity this afternoon at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. So I think it's instructive that the assembled American press corps covering the Winter Olympics and the political angles, cultural angles, finds Shaun White to be more of a concern for us than the North Korean regime and its appendages like Kim Jong-un's sister, the propaganda minister, who apparently is in line for a gold medal in diplomacy, according to Reuters, of all outlets. I mean,
and CNN saying that she's stealing the spotlight at Pyeongchang or PF Chang's, whatever you decide to call it.
If you're ABC 7 here in Chicago,
and that she's, I mean, how is she stealing the spotlight from the athletes? I'm not focused on her. I'm focusing on the talent out in the competition.
She's stealing the spotlight because they're putting the spotlight on her so that they can
rave about her skin tone,
elevate her. It's just the most remarkable thing. I mean, Ben Domenech in The Federalist, we talked about yesterday, a piece taking up the coverage and suggesting, in case you were not clear, America, your media hates you. Noah Rothman, our friend over at Commentary Magazine, had a piece on the topic as well. Fawning over North Korea's quote-unquote Ivanka isn't harmless. Let's get his take. Noah Rothman, the associate editor for Commentary Magazine, joins us now. Noah, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So why isn't terming Kim Jong-un's propaganda minister sister the Ivanka of North Korea, why is that not harmless?
Well, if you were to view anything and everything through sort of a chauvinistic prism, through American political lenses, then you wouldn't see how potentially that kind of coverage could impact politics on the peninsula. But if you were familiar with Korean politics, as I suppose the media probably should be when they dispatch themselves to a foreign country, at least cursory familiarity, they would know that The South Korean regime is currently a sunshine regime, which is an all-catch-all phrase that covers dovish Koreans who favor interaction, reconciliation, and eventual reunification with North Korea. They're usually more lenient, they're not hawkish, and they're pretty conciliatory. And so when North Korea puts on a smile and appears before them and makes overtures, however cosmetic they may be, those governments are usually pretty receptive to them. And the history of those efforts is that they're essentially stall tactics. They usually aren't very sincere, and they can result in some real costs, so especially lost time for the United States and the South Korean regimes in their efforts to contain North Korea's nuclear policy. So when you get a ton of stories, and I read tons of them, that said that North Korea's diplomatic offensive here is bearing a lot of fruit, and Mike Pence was sidelined because he got scowled at by this woman, and he didn't appear at the Blue House, and he didn't stand for North Korea's athletic representatives, so he was kind of in the back burner. It creates an impression for the South Korean public and the American public that things are going pretty much okay. You don't really need America's involvement on the peninsula. Maybe America is the obstacle to peace on the peninsula. That's DPRK's goal. It's been their goal for 70 years, to create the impression that the United States is the obstacle to peace, not the guarantor of it, and that their position needs to be weakened in the peninsula. So anything that aids in that goal helps North Korea. And to the extent that this coverage helps North Korea, it was an effort on the part of the press to sort of, I guess, send some sort of a signal to the Trump administration and Mike Pence, but all it did was support America's adversaries.
Well, also, doesn't it sanitize North Korea a bit, too? I mean, Otto Warmbier, whose parents were recognized at the State of the Union, still fresh in our minds, or should be, North Korea, the heat map of North and South Korea is about the most popular thing on Twitter, showing, one light in Pyongyang and darkness everywhere else as compared to their neighbors to the south. And the persecution of Christians, the starvation, on and on and on. And all that is glossed over as we're just playing this game of Risk with North Korea.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much space to devote in an article about something else, about the myriad historic crimes associated with the North Korean regime. You could spend a book recounting the times that Americans were killed, that narcotics were exported, that weapons were exported to non-state actors and terrorists. You could go on and on and on. So, that's some of that stuff has to be assumed. But yes, I believe there should probably be at least a nod or a mention to it somewhere in these efforts, in these stories. What was really frustrating is the extent to which it seems like you get the impression from readership who isn't all that familiar with the stuff you just mentioned, that they find the Trump administration to be the aggressor here, to be the destabilizing element, because that's the new element, right? The Trump administration wasn't there last year, it is, or 2 years ago, it is now. North Korea's been there forever, South Korea's been there forever. If you don't know a lot about this sort of situation, you would say, well, the balance has changed and the story has ramped up because the Trump administration is there and it's new. And that's remarkably obtuse and creates a moral relativism that is just repulsive. The only party here that is destabilizing is the party that is testing boosted fission weapons, intercontinental ballistic missiles, reentry vehicles, the party that is continually aggressively destabilizing the international environment. The United States is a status quo power. North Korea is not. North Korea wants it.
All right.
And
so, yeah.
Anybody who doesn't recognize that is contributing to North Korea's advantages and North Korea's objectives.
Well, isn't North Korea, they're accomplishing their goals by being at the Olympics. Kim Jong-un's sister invited the president of the IOC to come to North Korea to visit. He has agreed to. And then they also extended an invitation to the president of South Korea to come to North Korea and visit. Do you think anything could be accomplished during that visit?
Well, no, I don't think so. And like I said, these are the sort of things. And if the South Korean President Moon were to accept this invitation with no movement in any direction on the nuclear program, it would be a real problem, a real detriment to America's objectives on the peninsula. Look, we're talking now about talks just to have talks, but they're not really talks to have talks. What the administration has done is set the objective that we will sit down with this regime if there is no testing of missiles, intermediate missiles, nuclear bombs, just no testing whatsoever, just at least a pause. That's something. It's not a lot, but it's something, and it's a way to ramp down tensions on the peninsula. The fear is that those efforts will be undermined by a South Korean regime that is really dovish and really interested in engagement and looks at this lady who smiles at them with her freckles and her understated makeup and will undermine that effort. And that would be a problem. That would be a real big deal. So it's the sort of thing that when you have a press that creates that objective or that impression that this is somebody that you can work with, it is a problem for the United States and therefore for the rest of the world.
Sheila Jackson Lee just wants North and South Korea to live peacefully side by side, just like North and South Vietnam do today. Oh, wait. One of my favorite Sheila Jackson Lees of all time, not recognizing a Vietnam reunification 4 decades later. Just a little Sheila Jackson Lee shot. I mean, I have to take them when they are available.
No one's going to blame you.
No, I wanted to get your take. We just talked to Jed Babin about the news yesterday that charges have been recommended against Bibi Netanyahu in Israel for taking expensive gifts from businessmen, and what your prognosis is for Bibi's political future there, and obviously the follow-up question, if these charges were to be filed, if Netanyahu's going to have to step down, if that's a possibility, how destabilizing would that be for the region as it pertains to America's interests?
I honestly don't know. I'm not a seriously, tuned in expert in the region. It's my understanding that he would have to step down if there was a formal indictment filed. But to the extent that it would seriously impact the region immediately, I'm not sure if I would see that. If he were replaced by a labor government, that could have a really big impact on the geopolitical scene. But this is sort of something that's baked into the region. Israel is a democratic power. Israel is a power that is Republican and responsive to its voters and is a model for the region. So when you have the rule of law being demonstrated, and politicians and people in power like Benjamin Netanyahu, who's been in power for quite some time, responding to it as he should in a constitutional fashion, it's not something to be ashamed of. It's not something to be worried about. It's part of the process, and it's something that I think is ennobling for Israel, ennobling for democratic powers around the world. It should give everybody a lot of hope.
All right, very good. Noah Rothman, Associate Editor for Commentary Magazine. Noah, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up next on a very special Dan and Amy, how Dan should spend Valentine's evening. But first, here's your forecast. Clear out there. We will have increasing clouds as the day progresses, a high of 42 degrees. Tonight, we're going to have fog rolling through here. And tomorrow morning, there will be areas of morning fog, then rain by the afternoon, a high of 42 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Well, on this Valentine's Day and Ash Wednesday, the traffic is really heavy on the inbound Eisenhower. It is an hour and a half to get from 390 to downtown Chicago. It's an hour 10 from Manheim to the Circle. Outbound, it's improving, 43 minutes out to 390. Edens, 22 minutes, Lake Cook to the junction, outbound 32. Kennedy, inbound delays start at Central. It is an hour and 14 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 54 minutes from Montrose. It's 45 on the Express, outbound 33 to the airport. Stevenson, an hour and 15 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38 minutes. Ryan, 42 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 27 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop Ford, 50. Northbound Tri-State stop and go 115th to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Adams Tollway. Adams Tollway heavy 25 to Higgins. Reagan Tollway from Raymond to Yackley. The Veterans Memorial from Fountain to the Reagan Tollway, and from the Army Trail Toll to 290. I'm Jim Talamonte, the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
As flu season approaches, you know how to protect yourself against colds and viruses, but how do you protect your computer network? Ransomware, viruses, hacks, intrusions, it can stop your company's computer network in an instant. Are you safe and protected? Can your data be restored easily? Important questions. And if not, then you need to make an appointment today with Turnkey IT. Turnkey IT provides frontline security for your network and its data So if there is an email attachment opened in error or a network intruder, Turnkey IT knows and can fix the problem in an instant. They'll arm your network with cutting-edge antivirus, disaster recovery, and proactive monitoring software systems to stop virus outbreaks before they have a chance to spread. Over the phone or in person, Turnkey IT is your network safeguard against this season's worst bugs. See what a dose of Turnkey's proactive support can do for you. It's easy. Visit turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro. Old Man Winter is here, and you'll need a heating and cooling company you know you can depend on. Look no further. That company is the original Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling. They're not one of those massive impersonal companies with inexperienced technicians and subcontractors. Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling sends only their own highly skilled technicians. From service to installation and everything in between, their work quality and customer service is the best. The original Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling keeps homes and businesses comfy and warm. Call Carrie at 847-545-1700 or visit arlingtonheightsheatingandcooling.com. Mention AM 560 and receive 20% off your first service call. That's Carrie at 847-545-1700 or online at arlingtonheightsheatingandcooling.com. The original Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, not the biggest, just the best.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Now that I've got your attention, my name is Jeannie Ives, and I'm the conservative running against Bruce Rauner for governor. I'm an economic liberty, pro-family West Point grad. I've spent the last 5 years battling Chicago Democrats. I didn't think I'd have to spend so much time battling Bruce Rauner. But when Rauner betrayed conservative families, that's exactly what I did. Rauner made Illinois a sanctuary state. I voted against it. Rauner made you pay for abortions in all 9 months of pregnancy. I voted against it, and so did every other Republican legislator. Rauner took money from your schools to bail out the Chicago public schools. I voted against it. National Review has called Rauner the worst Republican governor in the country because he is. Rauner betrayed us. I honor who we are as conservatives. Rauner can't win re-election. He said he's not in charge. With your help, I'll lead the charge.
Paid for by Ives for Illinois.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I had this crazy thing happen with my eyesight. I went back to get my contact lenses done, and my optometrist, and I'm 46, he said, "This is really weird, but your eyesight is better." I'm like, I can't believe it, but I think it's these vitamins I'm taking.
I'm a huge believer in the product. I've tried lots of stuff, and this is the only real thing that I've ever, because of all these comparisons with all the other stuff I've had, this is by far the best thing, and consistently.
We're so healthy now on the Balance of Nature. There's no words to say how well it works.
Doing good on it, really. I'm feeling my skin is softer, and I feel good.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
What interest rate would you rather pay on your credit card debt? 17% or less than 6% APR? The answer is obvious, Lightstream. Because with Lightstream, you may be able to consolidate credit card debt and dramatically cut your interest rate to as low as 5.49% APR with AutoPay. Plus, radio listeners get an additional rate discount. Just go to lightstream.com/news. With average interest rates on credit card debt at 17% APR, Lightstream could save you thousands in interest. And because Lightstream is a division of SunTrust Bank, one of the nation's largest and strongest financial institutions, you can have complete peace of mind. The application takes just minutes, and there are no fees and no pressure. Just lower rates, one low fixed monthly payment, and huge savings. So if you have good to excellent credit, apply today and get a special interest rate discount when you go to lightstream.com/news. That's lightstream.com/news. Lightstream.com/news.
Subject to credit approval. Rates include 0.5% autopay discount available only when you select autopay prior to loan funding. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com for important information about limits on Lightstream loans.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes, set up screener questions, then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Daryl has hired with Indeed.
Nothing has been this simple, this easy, and this effective.
Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, Esther, Liberty Mutual just saved me $782 on insurance.
Liberty did what?
I know. It's a lot of money, right?
What'd you say?
Liberty Mutual saved me $782.
Visit us online to get a quote.
What?
I said, visit us online to get a quote, and you can save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
Are you still talking?
AM 560, The Answer.
This is what I sing to Hayek.
To me.
Yeah, that's right.
Come here, Hayek. Yeah, because you have no Valentine.
I thought you did you leave Valentine's for me and Keith and Justin? Quinn?
I wanted you to know that I pranked.
Jeff, Marcus?
I pranked all of you. I told, sweet little
Michael
Justin
Mann.
over there. I said, I left you guys something in your mailboxes for Valentine's Day, and they ran down there thinking it was true. And I just punked them. There's nothing there. I don't like Valentine's Day. I think it's the dumbest
Jamie
day
Kennedy, Ashton Kutcher.
ever.
Good
yeah,
stuff.
you got punked.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan, but I feel bad for people like you. I'm looking online for things you can do. There's an anti-Valentine's Day parody show that you could go to if you want to go to that. And this is perfect for you because it's right outside. It's on the front steps of your place where
Nice
you live.
night to be outside.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's pretty warm for this time of year. But your Ferris wheel in front of Navy Pier.
Yeah.
Your Ferris wheel, because you go on the little
Yeah,
Ferris
I go there all the time.
It's for singles tonight. So you can actually just stand there and watch people walk on and off and decide maybe, no,
Oh,
yes,
right.
possible.
Yeah, right.
That's not going to happen. You can do that for a few hours.
I do that
You
every
won't look creepy.
I do that every night. I sit by the Ferris wheel for a couple hours, and then I go to Bubba Gump's for dinner. So
And then you take
I
the
guess
Sea Dog.
I don't know why
Yeah.
tonight would be any different.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, Sea Dog. Yeah, nice night for the Sea Dog too. It's going to be
What do you
unseasonably warm, 35 degrees.
What do you think Sean Connery is going to do tonight for Valentine's Day with his wife?
Oh.
Oh.
Sean Connery is still reeling from that 1987 interview with Barbara Walters, I believe, where he offers an impassioned defense of, I guess what he would say, disciplining a woman. No, I mean, he does have a license to kill, but...
Yeah, but he said that sometimes if a good lady deserves it, she deserves a good smack, but not a closed fist.
I know Sean Connery regrets this conversation.
Okay, you did an interview in which you said, not the worst thing to slap a woman now and then. As I remember, you said you don't do it with a clenched fist, it's better to do it with an open hand. Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I didn't love that.
I haven't changed my opinion.
You haven't?
No, not at all.
You think it's good to slap a woman?
No, I don't think it's good.
You don't think it's bad?
I don't think it's that bad. I think that it depends entirely on the circumstances and if it merits it. Yeah.
What would merit it?
Well, if you have tried everything else, and women are pretty good at this, they can't leave it alone. Yeah? They want to have the last word, and you give them the last word, but they're not happy with the last word. They want to say it again, and get into a really provocative situation. Then I think it's absolutely right.
By the way, Sean Connery has been married to Micheline for 31 years.
Yeah, I don't know if he regrets it or not, Barbara Walters. Now, that he had only been married to her for 12 years at that point, but he's 87 years old. He's been married to her for nearly 43 years now.
I wonder if she'll give him some candy for Valentine's Day.
You choose me? Happy Valentine's.
Or else.
Have a wonderful evening. We're back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Now into the newsroom we go. Here's our news Valentine, Mike Scott.
CPD mourning the death of a commander killed at the Thompson Center. A man stabbed on a megabus in Aurora approves a pride parade. WIND Chicago News Time is 9 o'clock.